biggest conversation with Nick Abbot.
Do you mind if I say a few words? Thank you.
What with Ian going on and on and on, and coming up next is the Nick Abbot Show. After I finish speaking, it'll be the Nick Abbot Show. Any moment now, Nick Abbot will start. But before that, here's me introducing the Nick Abbot Show. And then Alex Stavanovich saying it's 3 minutes past 10. I think there's a conspiracy to keep me off the air, Amanda. What have you been telling these people?
Anyway, shall I continue talking now?
No, it's not a talk show. It's a music show. He speaks too much. Somebody complained about that very thing to me. Oh, yeah, why are you speaking so much?
Sorry.
It's a talk show. Not you. Amazing. Amazing. You know, was it Baroness Worsey that said crazy people shouldn't be on the air too much? Well, that's half the callers on this show for a start. I didn't say that. A British Airways plane was forced to make an emergency landing at Heathrow as eyewitnesses reported seeing the aircraft on fire flying over central London. What could possibly go wrong? A man who gave his first name as Jamie told Sky News, as you looked up, you could just see the flames being chucked out of the engine. Chucked out. Well, that's a very poetic way of putting it. He says it was full on fire when we saw it. There were 186 flight cancellations in total, and BA cancelled all short-haul flights in and out of the West London airport until 4 p.m. when they resumed. Clive Cook, who lives under the flight path, said the actual engine itself was on fire. He said the plane was coming over and suddenly the tone of the engine changed dramatically. Yeah, as did the tone of the people who were sitting underneath it. They said the plane was coming over, suddenly the tone of the engine changed dramatically, and I could almost say that it sounded like it was a blowout or an explosion. And in other news, as you've just been hearing, 2 men have been arrested by the law on suspicion of endangering an aircraft after a plane was escorted to the ground by fighter jets. The British nationals were led off the Pakistan International Airlines plane by armed police officers after it was diverted to Stansted Airport following a disturbance in the cabin. The reports were that they tried to get into the cockpit. They were very upset about something or other. Maybe they'd run out of the chicken option. Superintendent Darren of Essex Police said a threat was made as the plane flying from Lahore to Manchester with 297 passengers on board were preparing to land. According to Pakistan's Express News, one of the passengers claimed there were explosives on the plane, although the police said no suspicious items have been found. So would anybody like to reaffirm that Heathrow is the ideal spot to expand the number of planes coming in, each of which has to fly over the whole of central London? Will anyone agree with me now that this is a sane policy?
No.
But are they going to go ahead anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, they probably will, yeah. Regardless of all of the above. Doesn't make any sense at all. You know, what with that and the HS2 train to Birmingham, which no one needs or is asked for, and is so unconsidered that... very rarely when people talk about this has this been mentioned. You know, the HS2 train, which is supposed to open up the heartland of this great nation to Europe... That's the plan, essentially. It's not just to get to from London to Birmingham in a slightly briefer time than you can now, to shave 20 minutes off the journey from here to Birmingham. And as I've said on this show so many times, why would anybody want to get to Birmingham more quickly? I mean, you want to take the slow route. You know, a lady with her hand in the air?
But at least they can get out quicker.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. But once you're out of Birmingham, you're out. I mean, it must take about 5 minutes and then you're out. You're in rolling countryside. So it's not the getting out that's the thing, it's the going there. Why would anybody want to get to Birmingham slightly more quickly? It doesn't make any sense. And it only costs, what, 30, 40 billion pounds? And if they say that's what it costs, then it'll be double it and 10 years late. But hardly anybody says this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the HS2 train from London to Birmingham will terminate and leave from Euston. Is that correct? Now, for our European business travellers, to get back to Paris or Brussels or wherever it is they've come from, they're going to have to get off at that blighted terminus in Euston, and then they're going to have to drag their wheelie cases all the way down to King's Cross to get on a train to go to Paris. they're going to think we've lost our minds. How stupid is that? It's staggering, really. And for so many people talking about HS2, I've barely heard anybody actually mention this. Am I the only sane person left in this country? It would appear to an ignorant observer such as myself that the transport policy in this country, and I mean this with the greatest respect, is run by asses. Dopes and fools. Experts, I bet, each and every one of them. Oy. Oh, the stock market's fallen, by the way. Who couldn't have predicted this? This week, the London's blue chip shares dropped 143 points, or about 2.1%. It was the biggest fall in the benchmark index for a year, and wiped... Are you ready? Here comes the bad news. It wiped, grip onto something firm, you might want to sit down, £36.55 billion off the value of Britain's largest companies, which now are worth 1 penny. And like I said, who couldn't have seen that coming apart from everyone who doesn't believe in magic? For the last couple of weeks, the shares have been going up, ever upwards, right? And in fact, they achieved an all-time high, did they not? Or at least an all-time high for the past couple of years. And you thought, why? Why are they going up? Are they doing particularly well? Has the economy turned the corner? No, none of these things are true. So why? Is it just prestidigitation, perhaps? Another giant bubble. An expert started to saying that our economy was out of the trees. Green shoots, ever upwards, all thanks to the man who took credit, George Osborne. No! It was him what done it. The second-tier FTSE 250 is made up of smaller countries than those on the main board. It plunged to 316 points, a 2.1% loss that knocked the index from a record high. See, I'm not hallucinating. A record high. They've got soup kitchens in Wimbledon, and shares are at a record high. It doesn't make any sense at all. The stock market doesn't reflect the economy. But those who are trying to run the economy or are affecting to adopt the position that that's what they're doing would claim that it's an indication that things are getting better. They're not. The health of the stock market has got absolutely nothing to do with the economy. Despite what economic experts will tell you. Despite what George Osborne would have you believe. No! It's going to take maybe, I don't know, a year or two before I don't find that funny anymore. Oh. And it wasn't just here. These moves were mirrored by equity markets around the world. Germany, and when Germany starts falling, then we'd better check out. Better find another planet to live on. Germany tumbled from a record high, and so did France. And and in Japan, wow, everybody's going... In Japan, they've fallen off a cliff. Chinese data from the world's second-largest economy contracted for the first time in 7 months. Even China is feeling the pinch. Before Thursday's stock market plunge, the Nikkei had risen by 50% this year. Did you hear that? 50%. Up 50%. The Nikkei. Not Nikki, Nikkei. This was buoyed by Prime Minister... And Japan has been an economic basket case for as long as anybody can remember, for a decade or more. I mean, they keep banging on about the lost decade. They're having to survive on pot noodles over there. And what? They are. They love it. They were all recently criticised by... this was China, I think the foreign...
So not Japan?
No.
OK.
China. Well, it's close.
Not really.
Yeah, it is on the map. They're right next to each other. They love each other, Japan and China. They don't mind if we get them mixed up.
I don't think it is.
Really? Maybe I'll reinvestigate the history. I'll read up about it. I'll bone up about it over the weekend. Don't you worry. I'll be an expert by Monday. No, the Chinese foreign minister said the Chinese tourists should behave themselves and order room service instead of taking pot noodles into the hotel rooms and just asking for some hot water. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, the Nikkei. The Nikkei index in Japan had risen by 50% this year, based on absolutely no reason whatsoever, other than the new Prime Minister's pledge to smash deflation and end 2 decades of low growth. And how did he do it? By promising to inject $1.4 trillion into the economy in under 2 years. 1.4, not billion or million, trillion into the economy in under 2 years, said Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo. Well, how's that going, Shinzo-san? Is it working so far?
Oh, fabulous.
No, not going too well, no. And how do you inject $1.4 trillion into the economy? Well, you just... you get yourself a computer screen like this, and you just clack it out, and bingo, there it is, like magic. Actions taken by central banks around the world to encourage economic growth are widely viewed as having driven this year's global equity rally. Did you get that? Which earlier this month saw stock markets reach all-time highs, based on no underlying positive news whatsoever. So essentially they're just flooding economies with free money that they're just inventing out of the air. They don't even print it. They just pop it up on a computer screen somewhere. And they compete with each other to buy shares with that money. And so the price of the shares go up, but the companies are still living in the real broken world, and it's all bought with funny money. So it's a bubble, and the shares are all going to come right back down again when the bubble pops, as bubbles always do. But what do I know? I'm not an expert like these people. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
LBC 97.3.
M&S Bank. Just like M&S stores, our branches are open fashionably late and weekends too. Put simply, we call it New Fashion Banking. For more information, visit marksandspencer.com/bank.
850 tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Well, the whole world's gone crazy.
Yes, the old bag's right. Here's a call in Reigate. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, good evening, Nick.
Alan.
You may be no expert, my friend, as you've no doubt claimed, but you've explained it better than any expert would about what's going on with the money markets and with the share prices.
That must be a mistake.
No, it's not a mistake.
If I keep saying words over and over and over again, eventually I'll get something right.
Well, the thing is, any expert who's linked into the system is never going to admit what's going on. Japan's $1.4 trillion represents 25% of its GDP. And for the last 20 years, Japan has flatlined, has tried this before and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, well, if at first you don't succeed, keep doing the same thing over and over again. That'll work.
It was Einstein that once said that if you keep repeating the same thing and you get the same result, then you must be mad.
Well,
And
that's not quite...
exactly.
Yeah, he said it a little bit better than that.
He said it a bit better than that.
But he was a genius.
Well, I'm plagiarising what he said. But they're the same people who've tried to drive the gold market down using paper certificates, as I've explained on more than one occasion.
But the gold market is still... it just bounced back, didn't it?
The physical gold market is now, they can't create enough physical gold to match. And all the shorts, all the guys at the big places like Morgan and Goldman Sachs and central banks, they must all be pooping themselves, because if they get driven any further on the physical side, they won't be able to meet any of their supply side. No, but
just to go over the gold thing, just to briefly touch on it, isn't it the case that and the same with the silver really, the banks are holding an enormous amount of this stuff, and they wanted to buy more, so they
wanted to drive it down.
Yeah, so they drove down the price by either selling it or saying they were going to sell it, or some finagling like right,
paper.
Okay.
Yeah, shorting on paper certificates, which went back by gold.
So when the price went down, they could then, which is happening now, people are plunging into it and buying it, so it'll go back up again. Oh, exactly. And they make $100 million a day, and it's treble Jeroboams of champagne all round.
Yeah, but when you're greedy, you can never get enough of it, can you? And that's the problem with the power that they have. And everybody that's going to suffer is the rest of the populace.
Yeah. The little people, not leprechauns.
All of us, yes. All of us little Welsh and Irish and Scottish and English and God knows who. But anyway, your expert explanation was absolutely bang on the nail.
Wow. I can't believe I got something right.
Two of those, Nick. Anyway, nice to chat.
All right, thanks a lot, Alan.
Be safe.
Ta-ta. I need a pat on the back, Amanda.
I'll come round and do it in the news.
Right. Oh, that's a no then, I suppose.
Well, unless you want me to come in now.
No, that's
Otherwise
okay.
I'll just forget.
David Cameron is sucking up to China like his economic life depends on it, which it does. David Cameron has attempted to build bridges with Beijing. Now, that would be a technological feat. This is following a row over the Dalai Lama by insisting that he is proud to have as much Chinese investment in the UK as possible. And by proud, he means desperate, as in he is desperate to have as much Chinese investment in the UK as possible. It's the only country left that's got any money. Turn America upside down, stamped on the bottom, it says property of China. You would agree with that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
His comments came weeks after Downing Street refused to apologise to China over a meeting that Cameron held with the Dalai Lama last year. That's Lama with one L, because a llama with two L's sounds like that. That is not how the Dalai Lama sounds. Oh, by the way, Silly Sally Burkow. Silly Sally. How do you actually pronounce her name? Because I always it just looks Burkow. Burkow.
Yeah.
But people are bending over backwards in order to pronounce it some other way. Burkow.
But it's John Burkow, so it would be Sally Burkow, wouldn't it?
Silly Sally Burkow. Anyway, back to the Dalai Lama. David Cameron attempting to build bridges with Beijing because they're very upset that he went to see the Dalai Lama. It sounds like, no offence to the Dalai Lama, but it sounds like something you'd see in a petting zoo. His comments came weeks after Downing Street refused to apologise to China, which is, I don't know.
Warning!
I would just go ahead and apologise. Whatever it is they're upset about, just say sorry. Just say you're really, really sorry.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that should do it. Well, while you're genuflecting, on your knees. Downing Street sources have admitted that they had difficulties arranging meetings with the senior figures in the Chinese government as a result of this standoff. He's out there knocking on the door with his cap in his hand, asking for some spare change, please, and they're not coming to answer the door. There had been fears that the dispute over the Tibetan spiritual leader could put at risk Chinese investment in Britain, which was worth £8 billion last year. Is that all? I mean, that would be a lot to you and me, but it doesn't seem like a lot for an entire country. 8 billion. I would have thought it'd be much more than that. I mean, 8 billion, that won't get you, that'll get you a 4,000 square foot flat in Knightsbridge. You know, one of those nice lateral flats with a roof terrace. 8 billion. Maybe that's a misprint. In what will be seen as an attempt to placate the Chinese government, Cameron said, "I said to the Chinese Investment Corporation the other day, I'm not embarrassed that you..." Get this. He says, "I'm not embarrassed that you own 10% of our biggest water company or a big chunk of Heathrow Airport." That is what David Cameron said. What a weird thing to say. I said to the Chinese Investment Corporation the other day, quotes, "I'm not embarrassed that you own 10% of our biggest water company or a big chunk of Heathrow Airport." Well, that rather implies that he is embarrassed. Why would he say that? It's a good job that he said it in English. They had no idea what he was talking about. Cameron said, "I'm proud. It's absolutely great," he said. I think the lady doth protest too much. "I'm proud," he said. "I think it's absolutely great. We want to be the destination for Chinese investment. Tell the other Chinese investors, come to London, spend your money, throw us a bone, we're starving." What is he talking about? It sounds a bit desperate. He would be a rubbish card player, wouldn't he? Poker face? I think not. Cameron admitted, I mean, you're supposed to say, well, we're not that bothered. 8 billion, that means nothing to us. Cameron admitted that closer cooperation with China could raise national security concerns, but said there are ways to raise those if they ever become a concern. Well, guess what? They are a concern. Barely a week goes by and we don't read about some industrial espionage or government hacking that gets traced back to China. There are ways to raise those. And he'll raise them by saying, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" Beijing has in previous years sought to punish countries whose leaders meet the Dalai Lama, who disputes China's territorial claims on the region. Cameron declared he's not embarrassed that foreign companies are investing in acquiring British brands. Indian company Tata bought Jaguar and Land Rover in 2008, and Cameron said he couldn't be more happy. He practically wakes up laughing. Yeah, that was a recording of his response on hearing the news that Tata bought Jaguar and Land Rover. He couldn't be more happy. Literally, practically tickled to death. He said, you're investing in our steel mills, you're building our motor cars, you bought Tetley tea. Great, I couldn't be more happy. That's an actual quote from Diddy David Cameron. He's the person who's leading this country, can you believe it?
No.
I wonder how the swivel-eyed loons feel about that. I bet they're not happy. All those furious Bufton Tuftons who are sitting on the benches behind them, I bet they're not delighted that Tetley tea ain't British no more. They'll go. He's proud to have as much foreign investment in the UK as possible. Well, what kind of a thing is that for the Prime Minister to say? I'd be proud if we still owned something. I'm not proud that practically every building on London's horizon is not ours anymore. You can't scan any London street and point to anything that we still own. That doesn't make me proud. Makes me a little bit sad. Not in I come over here and I buy our buildings sort of way, but just, blimey, we used to own all this. Now we ain't got nothing. Proud is just such a weird way of putting it. Desperate. You're sounding desperate, Dave. Desperate Dave. Hey, that's what I'm going to be calling him from now on. Desperate Dave. If only there was a sound effect that went with it. It's called an Enfield. Hello, John.
Oh, good evening, Nick.
Oh, good evening, John.
What I'd like to say, there's a shadow appearing over our financial sector at the moment. It's called the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin,
and
yeah.
It's Bitcoin. You know, people are beginning to hear of it now.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, it's based on digital money and so on, fiat money and so on. But the thing is, it's based on faith and integrity, really. And the more integrity and faith we have in dealing in that kind of currency, which the banks can't really get at unless they go into it for themselves, and that means that they would have to become honest themselves, which I doubt they will ever do.
No, can't they just go in and buy it all up? I mean, that's what I suspected that they would do. Bitcoins.
They will be doing that, but of course the thing is, it's done on a mathematical basis and so on. And
maths. Mm-hmm.
Yes, algorithms and so on, and it's to compete against this high-frequency trading, which uses algorithm, you've got to get another algorithm to actually compete against that, and that's what this Bitcoin is doing.
What's it based on again?
Algorithms.
Right, that's my favourite kind of rhythm, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's a learning curve, isn't it, at the moment?
Well, it's an education listening to you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's going to get bigger. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
As things that will get worse, that's going to get bigger.
Well, it's all, even that sketchy outline that you've just given us, John, some of which is true, is based on fact that money is only worth what you think it's worth. It's not necessarily. I've turned him down. How come I still can hear him? How come I can still hear him? Yes?
Oh, because the fader in here's got knocked up.
Oh, right, it's your fault.
Way.
Okay. Well, I had to fade him down because I've got to wind up to the news now. But the value of the money in your pocket is only equal to what you think it's worth. If we have no faith in money anymore, then it ain't worth nothing. I promise to pay the bearer on demand. Well, try knocking on the Queen's house and see how far you get. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3. The time 10:30.
Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
I think this is nonsense.
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Desperate Dave. 0845 6060 973. You know, there was an annual global popularity contest. Not a beauty contest, but a which country do you really, really love? Guess which country came out tops?
Azerbaijan?
It's not an alphabetical list. Stupid.
Thanks.
And Austria would have won that, or Australia, or Aardvark. Is that a country?
Yes.
The stuff you learn on this show, it's like an education, ain't it?
No.
Mm-hmm. What would be the first country? Albania? No.
No.
What would alphabetically be the first country?
It wouldn't be, let me...
Afghanistan.
Oh no.
A-B, AC,
I do know. Abu Dhabi.
That's not a country.
Is that just a city or a place?
A, B, C, D, E...
Isn't Abu Dhabi a country?
Afghanistan. Is it Afghanistan? Of all the countries in all the world, that one has to be first. I am stunned. Look up the CIA World Fact Book file. If you call me now, within the next... If you can get on the air within the next 5 seconds, I'll give you £1 million if you can give the right answer to this question. And the question is, which is, alphabetically speaking, the first country in the book? Oh, I'm sorry, time's up. By the way, I'm going to win £72 million. I've got a really good feeling about the Euro Millions today. £72 million. At which point, I will board a private plane to Monaco. And I'll never leave. Nobody else is paying taxes. Why should I? Anyway, guess which country became the most popular in the global popularity contest? Are you typing it?
What? No, I'm looking at which country comes first in alphabetical order.
All right. Well, it's completely ignoring what I'm saying. It's not even listening to this show. I am... You're a woman. You can do two things. All right, well, I'll tell you. The answer to the question, which in the global annual popularity contest is the most positively thought about country? Answer, Germany. What? Germany. Quizzical look on her face. I am not making this up. According to this year's version of an annual global popularity contest, more people have a positive view of Germany than any other country. I am stunned. 59% of respondents in 22 countries surveyed believe that Germany has a mainly positive influence on the world, up 3 percentage points from last year. It's number one with a bullet. Only 15% believe that Europe's largest country has a mainly negative influence. Well, who would have thunk it? The results come as a surprise. Well, I'm stunned, following a series of stories in recent months about anti-German sentiment brewing in Europe as a result of the euro crisis. You know, like it's their fault. But even in Spain and France, the majority have a high opinion of Germany. In Greece, not so much. Is Greece still there, by the way? Can we check if it's still open for business? Does it still exist as a country? The United Kingdom saw the biggest gain over 2012. Haven't we done well? Likely thanks to having hosted a successful Summer Olympics. While Japan plummeted 7 points. The problems in Japan, they just keep getting worse and worse. It fell from first to fourth. How on earth was it ever first? India and China also saw significant drops in their popularity. Guess which? You've utterly failed to guess the most popular. So have a wild stab in the dark, which is the least popular country, according to this global poll. Yes?
Oh, you're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Very aggressive. Are you talking to me?
Israel.
Israel is not the right answer. No, close. Same area of the... Same sandy area. It is, in fact... Are you ready? He says, pausing while he gets the appropriate sound effect. Iran. Yeah, Iran, run by Mahmoud. I'm mad in the head, so what do you expect? So I thought, this being the weekend, like a German weekend, we have a benign invasion of German fans for the footy tomorrow. I hope the weather's a bit better for them tomorrow. I mean, it's just awful. It's just painfully bad. But let's do something positive about Germany. What do we have to thank Germany for? Let that be an undercurrent running under the programme. And I expect to get absolutely nothing in this regard, as usual. But I'll just press on anyway. I'll ask the question, and you could ignore me. 0845 6060 973. What do we have to thank Germany for? Mainly positive things about Germany. Call, tweet, text, fax, whatever. Have we got a fax? We don't do faxes anymore. They just don't exist. Nobody does faxes anymore. I was a bit alarmed that one of Ian's guests said that, on the show previous to this, said that journalists, their second favoured information source for news is Twitter. Which tells you everything you need to know about journalism in that one sentence. This message begins, "Hi, Anthony." That is so depressing. Gee, is anybody actually listening to this show? "Hi, Anthony," it says. Do we even sound remotely alike? Well, at least it didn't say, "Hi, Clive." God. Yes?
It's because you're on at the same time of night as Anthony.
Yeah, but we don't...
on a different day.
There's things on television at the same time of night, and people don't think that they're watching, EastEnders when it's a celebrity dancing on ice, do they? We don't sound anything alike.
I'm sure he's just as offended, Nick.
There is no other... it says, "Hi, Anthony." There is no other politician who is skilled as David Cameron when it comes to selling British products abroad and getting their investment to UK. That's one of the most important answers for the economic recovery in UK. Right, well, is that the standard of text that he normally gets on Anthony's show?
I hadn't amended that one yet. You were straight in there as soon as I put it up on the
Maybe
screen.
it just got lost in the ether, and he actually meant to send it to Anthony, but he actually posted it a couple of days ago, and it's only just been delivered. Like it's a really slow postman on his email account. That's the only explanation I can find. Well, it sounded like a song for a moment there. I thought I was going to break into something by the Carpenters. The only explanation I can find.
Rock and roll!
Look at that response. 0. Nobody can think of a single thing that we have to thank Germany for. Not one person. I am stunned. So George Osborne has raised... Oh, I missed it. Oh, well, I'll get him again. George Osborne raised an extra £1.3 billion from income tax in the first month since he cut the tax rate to 45p for higher earners. And he's crowing about how... he said, and I quote, "I don't like to say I told you so, but I told you so, I told you so, I told you so." This is a boost for the Chancellor. The Treasury says it took £11.5 billion in income tax in April. Now, that might come as something of a shock. That's how much they took in 1 month. £11.5 billion. It's amazing that we're poor, isn't it? What on earth do they do with the money? This is a 10% increase on the previous year. You remember that gorgeous Gordon Brown introduced the 50p tax rate? Yeah, him. Labour branded the 45p rate a tax cut for millionaires, which it is. However, the Chancellor has consistently argued that the 50p tax rate brought in by Gordon Brown in April 2010 did not substantially boost income tax receipts for Treasury coffers. And this is the message that we kept getting over and over and over. Conservatives blame the 50p rate for making Britain uncompetitive and causing rich UK businessmen to move abroad or find ways of avoiding income tax altogether. Well, for the former, no. They did not move abroad. Where are they going to move to? To find ways of avoiding income tax altogether, yes. But this is such a stupid argument. I mean, if you make £1 million or £10 million a year, and you saw that the income tax was 50%, and then it would move to 45%, would at 50% you say, right, that's it, I'm leaving the country, and at 45% you say, oh, well, that 5% makes all the difference. I'd gladly pay that. Of course not. If the tax was 4%, they'd still try to avoid it, because 4% of £1 million is 4 and 6 and add the 2 and carry the 1. Well, that's almost £600,000.
Negative.
It doesn't matter what the percentage is, it's the amount that the percentage is applied to. 50% is no difference to 45%. They'll still try to avoid it. Of course they will. How they can make that argument with a straight face is just stunning to me. Oh, 50%, and people will run for the hills. We'll reduce it to 45%, and then they'll gladly pay. No, they won't. Treasury sources said that there could be many reasons behind the rise, but they're going to take the credit for it anyway.
Correct.
Yeah, you bet they will. They said we're raising more under the 45p rate, but one said it's a factual statement that we're collecting more in income tax than before with the 50p rate. And there's a reason for that they're not going to tell you. And it's not the reason that they would like to... this is not the narrative that they would like to tell. It has nothing to do with well, it actually does have to do with lowering the rate to 45p, but not in the way they're saying. They're saying it could be more people in employment, a stronger economy. It could be because we're geniuses, that sort of thing. It could be any one of the ways in which we are brilliant at managing the economy, they said. Pick one. However, the unpalatable truth is, and this was not just me saying it, this is the Institute for Fiscal Studies. This is stuffed with experts. They pointed out that the rise in receipts may just be due to wealthy people avoiding the 50p tax rate and bringing forward... Well, I'll tell you exactly what they said. They'll probably put it better than I could. Receipts in April, they said, will have been boosted by high-income individuals shifting income such as bonuses and special dividends from last year to this year in anticipation of the fall in the top rate of tax. So, in other words, if you're going to get a bonus of £1 million last year, you'd say, well, hang on to that, because if you give it me this year, I'll be taxed at 50p. So give it to me next year, and it'll be taxed at 45p. And hence the tax take went up. But it's not the reason that the government is saying it's gone up. They're not saying that the business are more happy paying the 45p rate. It's just that they were less happy paying the 50p rate, so they didn't get paid last year. They postponed the period in which they get paid to this year, and that's why it's gone up. And so, by extension, next year it'll just go down. It's like shares. George Osborne was saying, this is green shoots, the economy on upwards, ever upwards. Look at the shares; they've hit an all-time high. And it's almost as though they've all got the memory of goldfish. They don't remember what happened from one day to the next. If it goes up one day and goes down the next, they'll say it's a catastrophe. If it goes up by 100% one day and down by 1% the next, they'll forget about the 100% increase and just talk about the 1% decrease like it's a disaster. Yeah, sometimes I'm amazed. I don't know what I'm talking about, and it seems like I'm the only person who's making any sense around here. What are you shaking your head at? You don't have to agree with the part where I say, I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't have to agree quite so readily. Leap onto that part of the statement. What an awful person you are. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
Good.
What number are you calling from?
0845 6060 973. Extolling the virtues and delights of Germany. Here's a caller in Wimbledon. Hello, Pamela.
Yeah, guten Tag. This is Anthony. I speak to you. Hello, Nick.
Pamela.
I'm just joking.
You're just kidding with me, aren't you?
I couldn't help myself. I know you like your warning, so I thought I'd just come in there with one.
Yeah.
With Ina.
I get it.
I've been to Wimbledon. I've been to the Wimbledon area.
I only did 1 year of...
Really cheered me up.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. I only did 1 year of Germany in school, and I think I left at the point that I...
couldn't stand it anymore.
Well, I wasn't very good at it. They have...
Really?
They have too many long words.
Oh, tell me about it. I told my mum, please don't talk to me like that.
Plus, we just found it extremely funny to conjugate the verb to drive.
To drive, really?
Yeah, conjugate the verb to drive.
Which is?
Oh, I thought you were an expert.
Oh, no, I'm not at all. Not
Right.
at all. This is the thing I said to my mother, don't talk to me in German.
Because it goes,
did actually
I
do
drive,
for my
you drive,
A-level.
he drives. And at the point of he drives, the entire class would be collapsing in a fit of giggles.
I know, it's like the he and she in the French. It's just, you can't do it. It's too difficult. Just speak English.
Yes, why can't everybody just speak English?
Well, they do. We actually do. If you go everywhere, they all speak English, so it's brilliant. Fabulous. But on that thing of what was good that was made from German, or Germany, well, I would say me, because my mother made me. I know it's a bit silly, but I know you appreciate a little bit of silly. And the whole weekend, it's been so heart-wrenching listening to, obviously, the most horrendous things that's gone on.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to hear you, Nick, honestly.
Where were you made in Germany, Pamela?
Well, I was made by a German, but I was made in Britain. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, does that not work?
No.
I feel like Amanda now. I'm kind of getting confused here.
Well, I know I
You're making me
am.
feel confused.
First you said you were made in Germany, and now you were made in
No,
Britain.
didn't you say what was good that was made by Germans?
Oh, right. You were made in Britain by Germans. I bet you've never broken down.
Volkswagen, Mercedes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Pamela. Cheers, my dear. Ta-da. Yeah, she's technologically perfect. Emotionally, maybe not so much. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's at lbc973. Just watch what you say on Twitter. East Sheen. Hello, Germany. Hello, Andre.
Hello, Nick. I'm fine.
I didn't
you were
ask.
asking what we should thank Germany for.
Yes.
Well, being it's Wagner's 200th centenary.
Boring!
And I know you don't like opera, and it's the only composer that can write an opera that could last for 3 days.
How can anybody sit through that?
Well, I actually have fallen asleep myself, so I can't. I must put my hand up. And that's obviously The Ring is it's a marvelous opera, but it's quite if you do the whole ring circle.
Just the thought of it makes me want to pass out. Why would anybody want to sit through that? I just don't.
Well, could you imagine
get
having
it.
to sing it? If you were Brunhilde.
I mean, the bit in Apocalypse Now, that's great, but to have to sit through 9 hours to get to that?
Well, there's many opera houses throughout the world
that
doing
bit.
it at the moment.
Huh?
There's many opera houses doing it at the moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, there's no doubting its popularity, but it's a mystery to me. I am mystified.
Well, I just thought I would give it a mention anyway.
Right. Wagner. The most Nazi-loving composer. Or the composer that Nazis loved the most. That's a better way of putting it, isn't it? Okay, thanks, Andre.
Okay.
0845 6060 973. Things to like about Germany. Maybe we should actually make a physical list. Well, it's not too late. We don't have to remember much so far. So we've got Wagner and, I can't put the first one. Lady Caller. Yes?
Leave from Milch.
Was it?
Leave from Milch.
Lieb Frau Milch. What's that then?
It's wine.
That sounds horrible.
It is horrible.
Well, I'll cross it out then. You made me write a big word only to cross it out.
You didn't even write it.
I did
saw
write
you.
it. LIBFRAUMILCH.
That's not how we spell it.
That's how I spell it. Some texts and emails. Hi, Rick. This is going to be a running theme now. Hi, Rick. Germany gave us the... Oh, well, some of you aren't going to like this. Germany gave us the monarchy, says Nigel in Manchester. Claudia Schiffer. Is Claudia Schiffer German? If so, thank Germany for Claudia Schiffer. I thank Germany for 1966, says David. Blimey, can you believe it? We're still banging on about 1966. That is an indication of desperation. Even David Cameron isn't that desperate. Even genuflecting in front of the Chinese premier, David Cameron wouldn't be that desperate. We are still going on about 1966. Dave in Yorkshire says we must thank Germany for kinky leather beer festivals. We can thank Germany for Boris Becker. Ooh, he's lush. No, he's not. We have some... Boris Becker just looks plain weird. He looks like he's caught in a wind tunnel. There's just something odd about him. We have some great 1950s and 60s architecture to thank Germany for, says Tony in South Norwood. Oh, I knew that you wouldn't be able to do this without mentioning the WAR. And, by the way, no, we don't. We don't have any 1950s and 1960s great architecture to thank Germany for. Name one. Name a single building that was put up in the 50s and 60s. Well, I've got one, the South Bank. All of the South Bank, that can stay. Apart from that, it's all got to go. All of it. And while we're at it, we can take down all of those hideous flatlets that create an awful wall down the Thames, our grandest thoroughfare. They're all shocking. I took a boat down the Thames again the other day, and it does occur to me, every time I go down, the staggering paucity of architectural quality of the buildings that have been allowed to line the Thames. All those tiny little laminate-floored, clacky flatlets with no cupboards and living rooms that look like corridors. Charmless and no artistic merit whatsoever. Incredible. There must have been, and you suspect that, an enormous amount of money must have changed hands under the table. Psst, here's a bag full of fivers. Let us build this hideous monstrosity right on the Thames. And the very people that will take 13 weeks or 20 weeks or however long it takes for them to OK your kitchen extension immediately start nodding their heads like those dogs on the back shelves of cars. Yes, of course you can build this thing that looks like an advancing alien spaceship right on the Thames. Sure, why not? That'll pretty up the place. Amazing. And they're still throwing them up. And they all look hideous. Almost every single one of them. I mean, don't you suspect that planning in this country is crooked from top to bottom? I mean, that's what occurs to me when I go down the Thames. How on earth... First of all, how could an architect live with himself to design the buildings in the first place? How can a developer look at what the architect has drawn and say, oh, that looks great? And how can a planner okay those buildings and say that would be a wonderful addition to the scenery? Amazing. All the mistakes that we made in the 60s with those hideous brutalist blocks that we threw up because Le Corbusier, that swivel-eyed loony, said that would be an excellent way to live, those tower blocks, ripped people out of their tiny terraced houses and put them in cities in the sky, which immediately became high-rise slums. We're making the exact same mistake again, except this time around we're building them for rich people. Whew, calm me down. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Germany. That had nothing to do with it. Completely innocent in this regard. Unless you know otherwise. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Please hold the line. I'm trying to connect you.
Now, was that Will Smith wrote a rap or Boris Johnson wrote a rap? Either way, I bet it rhymes with... Never mind. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk, eh? Can you believe that those nice people on that plane still haven't got out of the airport yet? I mean, the Stansted plane touched down when? About 10 hours ago? And they still haven't got out of the airport yet. Which is not an experience like flying... That's more like flying into Heathrow than Stansted. I touched down 10 hours ago, still haven't got out of the airport yet. Yeah, that sounds like Heathrow, yeah. Things that Germany gave us by text and email. We'd like to thank Germany for Prince Albert and the values that he stood for. Hi, Nick. Regarding Germany, Claudia Schiffer and Heidi Klum, says Abdul, who is not thinking with his brain. Our Anglo-Saxon heritage, Germany is the fatherland, we are the motherland, says Will. And we can thank Germany for producing the extremely entertaining films of Teresa Orlowski and Sarah Young. Who's that?
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, did you not Google it before you were stuck? I mean, not Google. I'm trying to avoid using Google for the reasons that we've been... Yeah, Ping it or...
Bing.
Ping.
Bing. That's a real search engine.
Is it?
It comes up on this very machine.
Right. You're not making it up? It's very difficult to avoid using Google. By which I mean Google.
Boo!
Yes. I bet they're, are they nudie pics? I bet I've just said something with a pornographic bent on this show. Has somebody slipped in a pornographic reference on this programme?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't know. That's the point. You're just throwing any old rubbish up there for me to read. Teresa Orlovsky and Sarah Young. Never heard of them. They don't sound German. Well, Sarah Young doesn't. Neither does Teresa Orlovsky. You've got no clue as to what it is you're putting up there for me to read.
I thought they were directors.
What kind of an assistant are you?
They might be directors.
Rubbish. Oh, by the way, the Sun is... talking of pornography, by the way, the Sun is very, very upset. This is... the Sun says... Well, it's not the Sun says, but the Sun is saying this. Kids who view internet porn are more likely to have sex young and treat women as objects, the report says today, says the Sun. A generation is being raised on a diet of pornography, warned the Office of the Children's Commissioner. It said smut. It's such a schoolyard way of putting it. Only British people will call it smut. It's the sort of thing that you would say over a lace tablecloth. Oh, smutty. It said smut was linked to risky behaviours, including sex with multiple partners and using drugs and booze. It wants all schools to teach about the dangers of porn, including safe use of the internet, says The Sun. On the very next page, see our girls on page 3, 360 degrees. You can take our beautiful girls for a spin, says The Sun, with this fantastic digital version of page 3, which gives you an all-round view of The Sun's legendary models. Just go online. And you can click on page 360. You can also view page 360 every day on The Sun's iPad app. Simply download it from the Apple's store to swipe to page 3 and then follow the instructions, which are to say, whoa, it's a fantastic bird. I wonder if they actually read their own paper. Here's a call in Cheshunt. George.
Hello.
George.
Things that the Germans have offered us,
yeah.
It depends how excitable you are, so we can go for the Glockenspiel or the space program.
The Glockenspiel is an integral part of Tubular Bells, am I right?
Rock and roll! Well, I'll take your word for it.
Other than that, I can't think of any good use for it. The Glockenspiel...
There you go. But I do know more about the space program.
Well, tell us about the space program.
Well, Hermann von Braun, he invented the V2 rockets, and our friend Mr. Hitler, they more or less, on pain of losing his family, he was forced to develop the V2, and then after the Second World War, the Americans took him in, and he's the man that invented the Saturn V rocket, which eventually took the men to the moon.
Now, is that the same Braun as in the electronics family?
B-R-A-U-N. I don't know if it's the same family, but the spelling is B-R-A-U-N.
Yes,
so,
same spelling. Whatever happened to that company, by the way? Because they before Apple existed, they had all the groovy, like tech products, and you went to them to buy the future. What happened to them? They're the past.
Well, very much so. I remember them. So there you go. I mean, the only computers I recall before Apple and Microsoft was Alan Sugar's thing, but that wasn't really a computer, was it? That was more like a word processor. So.
Well, I've got no idea. I was a late adopter to computers. But, OK, the space program. Good work. Thanks a lot, George. Yeah, Mr. Braun. It probably was. I mean, how many genius Brauns could there possibly be? And every now and again there'll be some article in the papers about how Apple have been enthused by or have nicked wholesale the designs of Braun, because you can put Braun products from the 1950s, 60s and 70s next to current Apple products and they look the blooming same. The same. Let's have, stealing is the sincerest form of flattery. Here is Enfield. Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
there,
hello.
Nick. Hello. I was going to talk all about Braun and his rocket to the moon, but
Yes.
somebody's stolen my thunder now.
Oh,
so
well, what else do you know about it?
Well, no, I'm going to tell you about my fridge, because
Your
basically...
fridge?
Yeah, well, my mother had a very old fridge, you see, going right back to, oh, God knows, when I was probably a baby. And then we replaced it in the 80s, and that went wrong. And then I went out and bought a German fridge last year. And this German, I will not give you the brand name because I'm on air, but it is absolutely fantastic. It's sleek, it's stylish, it's efficient, energy saving, and it's just wonderful. And it was made in Germany. So there you are. It's a testament to German engineering, just like the Saturn V rocket.
I don't really get this obsession with fridges. It's just a box to keep things cold in. I mean,
it is, isn't
what's
it?
the difference between one and the next? I mean,
Well,
you can buy a fridge.
Think of why we're thanking Germany for things. They can thank them for my fridge.
I mean, there is a fridge company that sells, and this was this isn't my line. This was on The Simpsons.
Yes.
And it's called Sub-Zero, isn't it? And their fridges, look them up on the World Wide Web.
I will.
Their fridges cost. Think of the price of a fridge and then multiply it by 10, Elizabeth. And that's how much these fridges cost. And it likes tens of thousands of pounds for a blooming fridge that keeps. And Homer Simpson saw this.
Yeah.
And it's not a very well-known product, so I was kind of surprised that the Simpsons even dealt with this. But he said, "Wow, a slightly colder fridge."
But, you know, Nick, isn't that the way with a lot of things that, basically, if you take a car, for example, I mean, a car is basically, it's on wheels and it gets you from A to B, but you can either have a cheap one or a really, really, really expensive one, but they do the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose that is true, yeah.
It is true.
But you can't, a man can't increase the perceived dimensions of his appendage by buying an expensive fridge. It doesn't work that way.
An expensive fridge. By the way, did you want to know the German for I drive? Because I looked that up on the World Wide Web as well.
Yes, okay, I drive.
Ich fahre. I drive. It also means to go.
Well,
so if you say ich fahre or wir fahren, we are going, or you could say, fahren Sie heute nach Düsseldorf, which means, are you driving today to Düsseldorf?
Well, that can't be...
that's going to get you a long way in life.
There must be, maybe it's the past tense or the future imperfect or something like that.
One of those.
There's some way of conjugating that verb, which left our classroom in fits of giggles.
Well, you see, when we were at school, we did grammar, didn't we? Remember? Did you do English grammar as well?
Yeah. Well, I did it, but I didn't learn anything in it.
You didn't? You weren't paying attention?
No, in one ear, out the next. Not remotely interested.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about, when you were talking about tall buildings, now I know this has got nothing to do with Germany, but when you were talking about how high they're making them now, it reminded me of a picture I saw on Twitter yesterday. Somebody has put up there a computer-generated photograph of what the centre of London is going to look like when they've completed all these tall buildings they're putting up in the city. And I just couldn't believe it. It looked more like Hong Kong.
But did it look good or bad?
Well, they look interesting. It looks, from afar, from an aerial perspective.
From a distance.
From a distance, yeah. It looks a bit like a sculpture, you know, if you're looking from a long way up, from high up. But I think if you were actually down on the pavement, walking among them, looking up, it would either be awe-inspiring or terrifying.
Yeah,
because
or
there's
awful.
Just so many of them.
Yeah.
And I think, well, do I like them or don't I? I mean, what do you think of the Shard? Do you like it? Or
No, well, I liked it. See, there's two skyscrapers that are going to define London's skyline, and I think opposite of both. There's the Shard, which I thought looked brilliant on paper, but in real life is just a massive missed opportunity. It just doesn't look finished. There's no getting around it. The top just looks bad. And it's because it was supposed to be much taller than it is. And so if it was like half as tall again, then it might possibly sort of disappear, and the eye might be fooled into thinking it just sort of disappears into the sky.
It's that little bit at the top that looks like they just haven't put the final bit on.
Exactly. It's just awful.
Do you think it would be improved if it had come to an absolute
point? Yes.
Rather than having those
massively so, yeah. It's just too stumpy and short to get away with the ending like that. On the other hand, so on paper I thought this is great, in real life terrible. And the opposite is the case with what they're calling the walkie-talkie. On paper, I couldn't believe that anybody would agree to build anything that hideous. It's wider at the top than it is at the bottom, which is the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do with tall buildings. You're supposed to step them back in order to, allow light to reach the pavement and other buildings. So I just couldn't believe that this hideous thing was going to be built in London. I was very upset about it. Now they've actually built it, or it's almost there and finished. I think it's the best-looking tall building in London. I'm amazed that I love it so much. I think it's great. It's kind of like a cartoon.
I think I'm confusing it with the cheese grater.
No, that's another one. That's
another one. And then
there's so many of them going up.
I know. But it's all foreign money, isn't it? It's
all of it.
All of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Q8 and
exactly.
whoever else owns London now. No.
And you're right. It's all for wealthy people, and they're going to do the Shard. Like half of it's going to be a 5-star hotel.
Yeah. If you have to ask how much, Elizabeth, then you can't afford to go.
That's very true. But would you go up the Shard? I mean, have you been up it, or would you?
No, I have not. I would not pay just to go up to have a look, but I might go up to have a drink in a bar, because it will cost you about the same, and you get the view for free.
Yeah, but you can get it's not quite the same experience being at home and doing it online, but you can go to the Shard website, and you can, which I did the day it opened.
Yeah.
And I just looked at the panoramic view on my computer screen, and I thought, wow, if I use my imagination enough, I can actually imagine that I am up there.
If you get through a couple of bottles of wine before you do it, and put your eyes really close to the screen, then you'll be able to imagine and open all the windows so you're freezing cold. Imagine that you'll be there, yeah.
Absolutely, and you can actually turn it round so you can see a 360-degree panorama.
There you go. That's you thinking, Elizabeth.
I know.
All right, I've got to go. Cheers, my dear. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Well, let's get back to it.
Yes, as an undercurrent to the programme, I thought, let's celebrate Germany, because they have come top in an annual global popularity contest, much to everyone's surprise. Even more surprising, it was that last year Japan was number one. Why? Because everybody felt better in contrast to their straitened economic times? I can't imagine why. But Germany it is this year. Iran is last, and we are sort of middling, as we usually are. And because we have a benign and excited invasion of German youth this weekend for the football match, I thought we'd celebrate all things German. Actually, I thought, well, I'll ask, and I'll get nothing in response, but you seem to be excited and energised by this. Harrow, Sylvie?
Guten Abend, Nick.
Sylvie.
We've just come back, actually, from Düsseldorf, because some of my family are German.
Oh, yes.
And I have to tell you, the bratwurst is to die for. And the cakes and the chocolates and the coffee and the malt beer and Wiener Schnitzel. So I really had a lovely 4 days, funnily enough, in Düsseldorf.
It's funny that Germany, when you think about food in Europe, you think France immediately, you think Italy, yes, absolutely. You think Belgian chocolate, but when you think Germany, for nothing, really. What, beer?
No, but the German chocolate is far superior. Belgian chocolate is too sickly. And in fact, if you go to Lidl, there is one brand there that you should try. The brand is called Gross. G-R-O.
No, I don't want to eat anything that's called Gross.
It's Gross, G-R-O-S-S. But the chocolate, it's very good chocolate. You can have the milk, or you can have it plain or semi-plain.
No thanks to Sylvie. I have already found the world's best chocolate, and I will not be swayed from my opinion.
What is that?
It's a chocolate that comes from Pisa, in Italy.
Oh, yes, that's also good.
How do you know what I'm talking about?
Because sometimes the Italian chocolates, certain brands are very good too.
This stuff is sensational, and I'm only allowed to have it on birthdays and Christmas because it costs so much.
Oh. But it is, I must say, German chocolate, marzipan, is very good. You do, that's if you like marzipan.
Right.
Anyhow, you've cheered me up because this week, news-wise,
it's been a bit depressing.
So awful.
Yeah.
So I'm in bed now, listening to you.
Oh yes.
And having and enjoying myself.
Well, that's a little bit too much information there, Sylvie. But thanks anyway. I think we'll pull a blanket over that, shall we? 0845 6060 973. She's enjoying herself, Amanda. Can you believe that?
I think that's oversharing.
Things that we have to thank Germany for by text and email. Where are we now? Multi-track recording. Without that invention, we would not have recording studios, says Mike in Darlington. Multi-track recording. That was a German thing, was it?
Groovy.
And from that, all those excellent stereo albums.
Yowza.
I had no idea. Well, who invented that then? Was that Moog fella? Was he German? He sounds German. Moog. Because he invented keyboards. He invented the synthesizer. The synthesizer. Black Forest Gatto. Well, even though it's called Black Forest Gatto, I seriously doubt you'd be able to get Black Forest Gatto in the Black Forest. I doubt it. I think that's probably an English invention, isn't it? I mean, do they do cherries and chocolate and things that used to be restaurant staples? You don't really get anymore. Prawn cocktails. I think a restaurant would only serve a prawn cocktail with like a wry smile, wouldn't they? It would be like reinventing a classic for your amusement. Whereas it used to be just that's what you got. You got a prawn cocktail, steak and chips, and a Black Forest Gatto. Yes?
Do you remember when orange juice was the starter? That was a starter option, wasn't it?
That's right.
You can have an orange juice.
Yeah, or half a grapefruit.
Or half a grapefruit with a
cherry in the middle. Yeah, exactly. How food has come along, eh? Now we're eating animals from tip to tail. I prefer not to have the tail part myself. I know where it's been. Here's a call in Heathrow. Hello, Pat.
Good evening, sir.
Pat.
Hi. Yeah, some things that the Germans invented. Just to let you know, you can get Black Forest Gatto or Schwarzwaldtorte in the Black Forest.
Really?
And it tastes delicious, yeah.
Schwarzwaldtorte. Torte is cake and Schwarz is black and whatever the middle bit must be.
This is forest.
Forest, right.
Yep. Other things that the Germans came up with is the diesel engine. Otto Benz came up with that.
Right. And it's been keeping you awake if you're on a bus route ever since.
Bingo. Yep. The book press also came from I can't remember his name. I think if you pronounce it in English, it's quite a naughty name, so I won't say it on air. It's spelled Kant, so yeah.
Right. Well, I think that you can pronounce that perfectly well, and there'd be no problem. It's if you mispronounce it, there might be a problem. But I'm glad that you spelt it out there, Pat. By removing any panic in. Yeah.
Also, I hate to disillusion people, but Werner von Braun, when he actually got caught by the Americans, I believe, they said, "Well, how did you invent all this rocket science or inventions?" And he turned around and said, "Ask a man called Goddard, who was a British rocket engineer in Britain in the 1920s."
Hurrah! We did that, did we?
Yep, he came up with the idea, was the first one to say, "I think it will be a good idea to send a man to the moon, and we could do it with a rocket," and everybody said he was crazy. Werner von Braun had a rocket club in Berlin, and he picked up on this and just took his inventions further. Also putting an inertial navigation system on the B-2 rocket to stabilize it and actually guide it, instead of just lighting the fuse and hope it lands somewhere.
Lighting the blue touch paper and retiring. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. That's how they started, and they put a man on the moon. So it is a combined effort of Britain and Germany and the US money, basically. But,
and after they put the man on the moon, after they spent all of that money and all of the risks and the lives that were lost in the pursuit of putting people on the moon, then what? Have we actually achieved anything at all by putting someone on the moon?
I would hope so.
Well, you would hope so, yeah, with all the money that they've spent for a start. But have they? Can we point to anything apart from non-stick pans?
Satellites, maybe. I know that's a Russian invention with Sputnik and that, but getting the technological leaps that we made in that time has given us sat-navs, mobile telephones, all these crazy inventions.
Well, you sound like an expert, Pat. What is your expertise in this regard?
I'm a student pilot at the moment.
A student pilot?
Yes.
Now, when you're learning to fly, you are actually learning to land, aren't you?
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at now. Circuit, they call it circuits. Take off and land by yourself, and don't wreck the aircraft.
Right. And what would you do if if one engine was on fire and the other had blown up?
If one engine was on fire, if I only had one engine out and the other one was still giving me thrust, I'd follow the standard instrument departure for a one engine, go up to a safe altitude, call a pan, follow the ECAM memos and the QRH reference handbook, quick reference handbook, sorry, follow the procedures, troubleshoot the problem. If there is a fire warning, idle that side, confirm the engine, idle that engine, cut the fuel, and then pull the extinguisher, and then come back and land, or find a suitable airfield to land if the other engine is giving you problems.
Well, I have complete faith in you. If I get on a plane and the announcement comes that your pilot today will be Pat from Heathrow, then I will have... as long as you've got a moustache and you're over 50 years old, then I will have complete faith in your ability to fly that plane.
You are the only person. All my other friends said there's no way they get into an aircraft with me unless they've got a parachute.
Right. Well, then I go with the crowd. I bow to the wisdom of the crowd.
Well,
I'm not going to get on a plane that you're flying either.
Another thing that the Germans invented, the Wright brothers, they used an invention from Otto Lilienthal, who invented the wing.
Invented the wing?
The wing. The Wright brothers came up with the invention of measuring the angle of attack, which gives you lift. The wing going into the flow of air at the right angle is called the angle of attack. And Otto Lilienthal came up with that theory. Sadly, it was only gliders, so he would throw himself off higher objects and glide down to the ground, except for one time when it didn't work. And, he fell to the ground.
And that was the end of Otto, whatever his name was. OK, well, thanks for the bad news, Pat. There goes another one. Well, this show is like an education, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, in little bits, just tiny amounts here and there. Wow. And I thought that nature invented the wing. 0845 6060 973, text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk, and Twitch tweet at lbc973. This is Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3, the time 11:30.
Let's go.
Let's have a brief detour into the weather. Oh, talk about painful wind and lashing rain, which is not a word you want to hear before the word rain. Lashing. Threatened to turn the late May bank holiday weekend into a washout. Well, who couldn't have predicted that? A severe weather warning was in place for the whole of the UK, as not just a bit of it, all of it, as gales swept from the southwest up to Yorkshire, which is all of it. Temperatures struggling to keep above 12 centigrade and hovering as low as 7 in some places, like the inside of my flat, for instance. But millions of motorists are set to take to the roads to make the most of the bank holiday getaway. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. 9.5 million motorists plan to travel over the long weekend. That doesn't sound like a holiday to me. You must be crazy. The Met Office warned drivers to be mindful of high winds today and issued a yellow severe weather warning.
Warning!
Don't drink the yellow rain. That's what they said. The rain and wind comes after snow fell in County Durham and snow. And across the northern Pennines yesterday, temperatures plunged to an overnight low of 1. Count them, 1 centigrade. This was in a Hampshire village called Otterbourne. Rubbish. There's no such place. Never heard of it. It doesn't exist, and that's an end to it. Otterbourne sounds like it would be in Yorkshire near Otley. Otley and Otley. I used to say that on the because I did a brief stint on a Yorkshire radio station, or rather a radio station that was broadcast to Yorkshire, and furious people would call up and say, "You're taking the mickey." I can't do a Yorkshire accent. Taking the mickey out of us, saying Otley, 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 Batley, Otley, Atley, and they'd be furious with me taking the mickey out of local names. Hey, look at that weather forecast. Oh. Blimey,
it's not that bad.
It is awful. Shut up. It's not that bad. Terrible. Let me get through let me get through this, and I'll tell you what it's going to be like over the next 5 days. You won't like it. The worst of the bank holiday weather could have been confined to today. How about that? With the rest of the bank holiday weekend looking a little more promising. A little? Oh, no. That's not great. Just a little bit. Much of the country will experience bright and sunny intervals tomorrow, with temperatures moving up to 13 centigrade, which still sounds cold to me. On Sunday, the temperature could reach 17 centigrade in the capital, which is expected to see the best of the temperatures. Yeah, as though we didn't have everything else going for us. It's the cultural high point of the country. All of the people with money live here. People are better looking in London, I think you'll find, than in the north. That's absolutely true. We dress better, we have higher cheekbones, and our bottoms are more pert. That is an actual fact. Not only that, but the weather's better here too. Ha ha! On Bank Holiday Monday, the best of the weather is expected to be in East Anglia and in Kent, where temperatures could climb as high as, take a deep breath and sit down, 20 centigrade on Bank Holiday Monday. All you have to do is live in East Anglia and Kent. But the Met Office said that cloud and rain will move across the country from the west as the day continues, that is Monday. And over the half-term break next week, the weather is expected to be unsettled with a mixture of heavy showers and sunshine.
Fabulous.
And the 5-day forecast is depressing. Well, if the 3-day forecast, you think... Now, see, this is statistics in a nutshell. It very much depends on when you start and when you finish, because you could tell any kind of story you like. I could say that today was it was a high of about 10 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be 16 degrees and sunny. And on Sunday it's going to be 19 degrees and sunny. Now, if I stop there, you'd think, wow, here comes summer. Ooh. But I will not stop there, because it gets worse from that point on. I hate to break the news to you. Monday, also sunny. You remember the sun, don't you? Yes, I swear, you look like you got rickets, Amanda.
I don't think that's anything to do with the sun.
Oh, right. You like horse riding on your time off. So the temperature starts plunging down from Sunday, I'm sorry to say. Monday, 17 degrees and sunny, which is still not bad, it's not great. Monday, raining and 14, back to freezing again. And further ahead, this is when they just start guessing. Further ahead, it could either be 10 degrees or 21 degrees. They've got no clue. That's not a forecast, that's not a forecast. It'll be either 10, which is cold, or 21, which is borderline hot. They have no idea. They have a computer the size of a football pitch. I know I keep saying this over and over, but they actually do. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. And does it work?
No.
No, not at all. But it makes tea. They can set it to make a nice cup of tea in the morning. It only costs £100 million. Oh, there is another IT disaster. I might come to that in a minute. Meanwhile, a call in Chiswick. Hello, Julia.
Oh, good evening.
Julia.
Listen, I really hate to burst the bubble.
Oh, no.
But I have to. I must tell you, I spent quite a few years in Germany travelling with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And the food was the worst thing.
What?
German food is revolting.
Oh.
In fact, all the time we were there, we lived on pizza.
Pizza?
Yes, because have you ever tasted a German dumpling?
A German dumpling?
Yes.
No. What was his name?
You know, that horrible, like...
Well, I don't like English dumplings or Chinese dumplings. No, they're kind of stodgy...
Well, that's German food for you. It's
stodgy,
just
blobby
stodgy.
balls of fat. Well, what kind of food were you eating apart from dumplings?
It was in German restaurants. We tried a few and then we stopped going.
Well, like what? What was it that put you off?
It was all that stodgy stuff. Like, if you would have a roast beef,
yeah,
it would be so sinewy that you couldn't get your teeth through it.
I had the most fantastic meal I can remember in a long while, just the other day, and it was anglais. Anglais grillé. As in grilled onglet. What's onglet? I ordered it, I didn't even know what it was.
It's English.
And I almost hesitate to find out. It's not like tongue or anything like that, is it?
No.
Or like an animal's region. Onglet. What does that mean?
Oh, I can't say it over the radio.
Don't say that, Julia. I'm feeling a bit queasy. It was sensational.
Really?
I could eat that again right now.
Amazing.
But what else did you order in...
well, mostly...
She's just humouring me now.
No, I'm not. There is not that much. This horrible kind of red cabbage soaked in vinegar, which I hate.
Well, that was... what do they call that? Choucroute is exactly right. Yeah, and I ordered choucroute in the exact same restaurant, and I couldn't finish it. It was awful.
Oh, there you go.
So don't order the choucroute, order the onglet.
Okay.
How about schnitzel? Did you enjoy a schnitzel, Julia?
We're looking at 10 inches.
Yes, and schnitzel. I've enjoyed a schnitzel, but in Switzerland.
A Swiss schnitzel?
Not in Germany.
A Swiss schnitzel?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, nobody goes to Germany to eat, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, I see. Choucroute is a task. It's a big mound of shredded pickled cabbage with bits of pork sausage in it. And it's not that appetising, not really. And if you don't like mystery meat, then you won't like schnitzel, because it's just like pink foam that has been solidified and put into a casing. That's the kind of sausage they have over there, frankfurters.
Oh, God.
All sort of furters.
Yeah, and they sell all those sausages on the street. It's so revolting.
I wouldn't want a frankfurter furter, but I wouldn't mind a Swiss schnitzel, Julia.
Ah. Well, food in Switzerland's good.
Yeah. No, it isn't. It's the same. It's the same.
No, because
well, what do they do in Switzerland?
You don't eat Swiss food. It's easy. The fondue is okay.
Oh, fondue. No, where did you go to eat a fondue? 1970?
In Geneva. Probably, yeah, because I was married in, must have been around the 70s.
It seems so very long ago, doesn't it, Julia? Almost like another lifetime.
Well,
yeah,
parts of it.
I bet you'd look fantastic in the 1970s. Anyway, Julia, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much, my dear. 0845 6060 973. Did you find out what... Oh, sorry, she's on the phone. She's popping up pictures of various meat cuts. Various cuts of meat. Onglet. What is it? I'll find out in a minute. Will I require a bucket? Yes.
Does it look like... does that look familiar? Did it look like that?
Well, in its...
I love the way they've got it raw on a table with a glass of red wine.
Yeah, that does look appetising, doesn't it? No, it was blackened, grilled on the outside and pink red in the middle.
Yummy.
It was sensationally
like
good.
That.
In a red wine sauce. Ooh, boy, it was marvellous.
Does it look like that?
Sort of a bit like that, yeah. Well, what is it?
Well, it's just a bit of steak.
It's not, yeah, okay, but it's not from an unpleasant part of the animal, is it?
Oh, I do
it's not
hope
from
so.
their area, is it?
I really hope so.
0845 6060 Have I mentioned how huge it was? 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbot, LBC 97.3.
This bank holiday weekend at Homebase, there's
4850, tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbot.
You're wondering what it's all about, and I can't tell you because I don't know myself.
There's an organisation called Public Health England. I bet Amanda wants to get up on the World Wide Web as much information about them as possible. From the looks on her face, I'd say the answer is no. What?
What do you want me to look up? I'll still look up steak onglet.
Well, you found nothing, and it's been like 10 minutes, so let's just assume that it's unavailable. The information is not available on the internet.
Well, I think that's quite worrying, then.
Public Health England. Find out everything you can about them in the next 10 seconds or less. Really, with assistance like this, it's amazing this show even gets on the air, don't you think? Public Health England has... This is probably an organisation that you pay for, but it's a governmental organisation probably paid for by you. And guess what they've done? That's right, they've published a heatwave strategy for 2013. The entire country is freezing to death, and they have spent their time and money, their time, your money, on publishing a heatwave strategy for 2013. The government's heatwave strategy was first produced in 2003, and we're still waiting for one. The strategy contains paragraphs warning readers about the hot temperatures in summer, and that the window of opportunity to take effective action during a heatwave is very short. Yeah, as is a heatwave. Blink and you'll miss one. Over 46 pages, it says, while we're enjoying the balmy days of summer...
What?
I'm not making this up. While we're enjoying the balmy days of summer, it says, we should not forget that the temperature can get too high. Too high? It can become uncomfortably hot, they say. And for some, it can become dangerously hot. We need to post all these to Miami, because they are going to be useless here. Stunning. Public Health England. Inside government. It's is a government body. Is that right? Public Health England. Let's see what we can find. Public Health England has been established to protect and improve the nation's health and well-being and to reduce inequalities. It will take its full powers up on April the 1st, 2013. Well, that's this year. Well, haven't they done a great job so far?
No.
No, not really, no. So far, zero. They've published a heatwave strategy for 2013. Excellent work. Just in time. Meanwhile, severe weather warnings were issued by the Met. It's going to be snowing and freezing right up to your eyebrows. Here's a call in Romford. Hello, James.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
First-time caller.
Good man.
Just wanted to tell you about onglet.
Yes, is that how you pronounce it? Onglet?
Onglet. I think it's the French word for what we call hanger steak.
Now, what's that mean?
It's the underside of the piece of the cow that hangs underneath.
No,
it's just the belly.
Oh. Right,
So
not that bit that hangs.
No, not that bit that hangs. It's supposed to be one of the more flavoursome cuts. And it used to be known as the butcher's cut,
Right.
because butchers would keep it for themselves.
Is that right?
Apparently so.
Well, I can't describe in words how utterly delicious it was.
It does sound nice.
Onglet.
Yeah.
Now I know how to pronounce it next time I ask for it, because I sort of mumbled under my breath while pointing at the menu, because I didn't know quite how to pronounce it. And the word after it was Grille, which is grillé, which is a very difficult word for English people to pronounce.
Yeah, I can imagine. If it was a French restaurant, I would probably say anglais.
Yeah, so I said anglais grillé, which is completely wrong. But at least I got my order in the end. Excellent. All right, good work. Are you an expert in this regard, James?
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I do love good steak.
Right. But you're not a chef or anything?
No, not at all.
Right. Or a butcher?
A consumer.
A consumer. OK, keep consuming, James. The economy depends on it. Thanks very much. 0845 6060 974.
Three. Just like the The band that we're in.
Yeah, well,
it's like our frequency band.
Yeah, my brain
973.
fell over for a moment there, and I couldn't remember. And I started scanning the walls for information as to where we were. What an idiot!
Mm.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
You really?
No, I was not expecting that.
You were not expecting that.
I am rocked back on my heels. I was reaching out for help there. And did I get any? No, I did not. Stamped all over me. All over my face. Here's Kilburn. Hello, Yvonne.
Oh, hi.
Yvonne.
Oh, it's so nice to have a laugh tonight.
Well, you've got to have a laugh, ain't you?
Yeah, it really is. I was out in Germany 39 years ago, and the trams out there were fantastic. You only had to wait a minute for a tram.
Really?
Any tram, 39 years ago.
Now, is that your memory? You're playing tricks on you?
No, it is not. I can assure you it is not at all. And the shower guns that you get in pubs that spray out the Coke and the orange, they had them there 39 years ago. Germany is so far advanced, it's unbelievable. And the pizzas, I've never tasted a pizza like them. They were absolutely beautiful.
Now, can you describe this pizza for us, Yvonne? Was it a thin crust or deep?
It was a thin crust.
Thin crust.
And it was huge, and you had loads of things. I'd say about over 20 items on them. And
now, Italians are screaming at the radio that you should only have like 3 items maximum on a pizza.
No.
But I disagree with that.
Huge ones.
Yeah.
I can assure you.
I think that the ingredients should be piled up in a giant mound.
And the only one thing not to have out there is bacon. Because the bacon is so thin, right, when you put it in the pan, you can't eat it. It's like toilet paper. It's so thin, that thin. But
doesn't that make it crispy?
I'll tell you what else I discovered.
Yeah.
Is that if you put an English coin into their cigarette machine, you could get 20 Marlboro for the equivalent of 50p.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's very bad of you, Yvonne.
Well, I mean, I was only 20.
Oh, I see. So your age is an excuse, is it?
And I tell you what I did enjoy. Went to a beer cellar.
Yeah.
And if the people you was with got enough money together, then you could go on stage and dance with the Umpar band.
Oh, yes. And for a little extra, you could slap somebody else's thighs, right?
And I was hoping not. And they got enough money, and I had to go on stage and dance. But it was horrendous. It was really, really lovely, you know. But
if only this was television, if only this was a video phone, Yvonne, I'd have you do a little dance for us right now. But fortunately, sadly.
No, that wou't be possible, unfortunately.
Okay, well, it looks like
because I worked for the American commissary while I was out there as well. Army bases out there.
Yeah.
And but the only thing is, the Germans have no sense of humour whatsoever.
Now, why do people keep saying this? They must do.
No, they don't. I can assure you, I worked out there for 6 months. They have no sense of humour whatsoever.
Well, now, what led you to that conclusion? That they didn't get your jokes?
It didn't matter what joke you told them. They just looked at you.
Well, maybe they didn't understand English.
No, they did understand English. You can be assured they definitely did.
Well, would you like to tell me one of the jokes that you told them? And then I'll be the judge?
Oh, no, I don't know any jokes offhand, but I mean, we're talking about 39 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it was an unreasonable request, Yvonne. You're quite right. I feel so stupid. All right, well, thanks for that. Cheers, Yvonne. 0845 6060 973. Don't eat the bacon. I thought that bacon was one of the things that you did want to eat in Germany. Because they stick bacon in everything. And I do mean everything. There's chunks of bacon in everything. But they're not that... See, I would prefer a thin, crispy bacon rather than great cubes of blobulous fat type bacon, which doesn't sound very appetising. I mean, once you can't chew through it, once your teeth bounce off it like it's rubber, that's the point at which I want to take it out of my mouth and put it on the plate. And I would too. Do I have time for this next call or not? Yes or no? Yes? Did you find out anything I've asked for so far,
what?
By the way?
You asked me to find out about Onglet. I did that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I sourced a caller who told you what it was.
Sourced a caller, my eye. Somebody just called in.
Yeah, and I sourced that caller on
Rubbish.
air. And then I put up the public health
thing.
Yeah, despite the fact that I was talking to people at the same time.
I found that. What have you done?
No, I Googled that.
Wow. You see how aggressive she gets? Is it any wonder I cry myself to sleep? I'm frightened to come to work. Help! I'm being abused! What an awful person she is. Why can't you be nice like me? 0845 6060 973. So some texts and emails. What do we have to thank Germany for? This, by the way, in case you've come in late, is because there's been an annual global popularity contest. They've asked respondents in 22 different countries about which of the other countries in the world they really, really love. And much to everyone's bemusement and surprise, Germany came out number one. I am not making that up. Last were, it's no great stretch of the imagination to conclude that last would be Iran. No! Iran last. Germany first. And so we've been celebrating all things German because, as you probably know, there's a big German football match. It seems that Spain, football-wise, is yesterday's news, and now it is all about Germany. And so there's a lot of Germans who have come to enjoy our excellent British weather. And they're currently freezing to death outside a bar near you, probably. And so we're celebrating Germany. Sure, why not? It's not often that you'll hear that on a radio or television station. Let's celebrate Germany. Don't mention the WAR. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
1.3. Call 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Some nobody.
A what? 0845 6060 973. You can text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's at LBC973. Let me take a couple more of these texts and emails. We're celebrating all things German today for the obvious reason that there's the big football match today. And there's a wave of German people coming here to enjoy the excitement. Also, as I was mentioning just before the news, the annual global popularity contest of 22 countries, 59% of respondents in 22 countries who expressed a preference believe that Germany has a mainly positive influence on the world, and that feeling made them number one in the survey. They are the most popular country on Earth, much to the average correspondent's surprise. And what do we have to thank Germany for? That's what we've been, that's been the sort of undercurrent of the programme today. We can thank the Germans for giving us Lidl, says Dale from Weybridge. Great composers Beethoven, Brahms, Bach, Wagner, to thank the Germans for, says Carol of Farnham, somewhat she has a higher regard for the country. And if Germany will adopt Nigel Farage, then England can thank Germany. If Germany will adopt Nigel Farage, then England can thank Germany. That's what it says. Speaking of Nigel Farage, by the way, UKIP leader Nigel Farage's 21-year-old son has been given a conditional caution for being drunk and disorderly. Thomas Farage, 21, who's a city trader, was arrested at 3 a.m. in the Square Mile in April. He appeared at City London Magistrates Court to hear that he will be given a police caution for his behaviour. Details of the late-night incident emerged days before the local elections in which UKIP made big gains. Nigel Farage refused to discuss the case, telling reporters, "I have nothing to say." He said, "I have nothing to say. You're bleeping in the wind with me." What on earth does that mean? The UKIP leader has 2 adult sons from his first marriage and 2 young daughters with the second wife, Christine Meyer, who is German and a broker. Boo! Only one of those 2 things gets booed. He's up to his eyeballs in bankers and traders, is Nigel Farage. He used to be one, didn't he? Thomas Farage was arrested in the early hours of April 12th in St Martin's-le-Grand, which sounds suspiciously French to me, a street near St Paul's Cathedral. Was granted unconditional bail. You know what? I blame the parents. Here's a call in Upton Park. Hello, Joanna.
Hello.
Joanna.
Hello.
How are you, Joanna?
I'm okay. I'm great, thanks.
That's super. Now, what's up?
Oh, I'm just ringing to say what the Germans gave us.
Yes, what are the
I can't believe
Germans?
they're top of the list.
Yeah.
Toothpaste. Toothpaste.
Toothpaste?
Yeah, toothpaste. In 1907, they gave us toothpaste.
And how do you know that?
Ah, I just know it. I love toothpaste.
It's just one of the things you know.
No, I looked it up to see what they actually had given us, because I hadn't a clue, apart from Volkswagen Golf, the cars, and I haven't got a clue what they give us. But they do give us gummy bears as well.
So they give us the instrument of tooth decay and the way to avoid it. Wow.
Yeah. And Jägermeister, of course.
Oh, of course, yes, which has decorated many a student floor. Yeah, Jägermeister.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Have you ever been on a Jägermeister binge, Joanna?
I've only ever had one when I went to the fair at Hyde Park at Christmas. Regent Park, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that fair a lot. I go there every year. Yeah, I think it's terrific.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, all different things there.
I wish they had it when the weather was nicer.
Yeah,
Blooming freezing when the winter ball is on. Yeah. I suppose they could have it on now and it would still be blooming freezing.
Good idea. Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, Joanna. Toothpaste. I'm amazed. Are Germans known for the cleanliness of their teeth? You'd think that an American would have come up with that. Toothpaste, a German invention. I am stunned. The stuff you learn on this show, eh? Let's have Barnet. Hello, June.
Hi, Nick.
June. Are there any men listening to this show? It's all women.
Yeah, I must be mad. All Germans are in bed by 11 o'clock. But anyway, I'd like to say on 2 ways here. Had an apartment in Spain for 8 years until just recently.
Yeah.
In the complex, very, very nice on the Costa del Sol.
Oh, yeah. Were any of your neighbours bank robbers?
No, but I clocked a few of them down in Marbella along the...
Oh, well, Marbella, that's notorious.
Yeah, no, I clocked a few of them. Another time of day, I'll tell you that embarrassing moment when somebody recognised me and in front of me acting posh. But anyway, basically where I'm coming from here is that living amongst them on the complex...
Who?
The apartment complex, I mean.
Yeah, amongst who?
They were by far the best neighbours. In other words, this way.
Bank robbers?
They were clean, respectable, paid their dues to the maintenance, the administrator. They were respectable. They never gave anybody 2 seconds aggravation. They kept the rules and regs going.
Oh, Germans.
Precise. They were tucked up in bed at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, yeah.
No Muzak and that. The only thing was the locals didn't like them very much because they never spent a penny anywhere. They had a big cool boxes they took to the beach. Whatever they did, they kept to themselves. They did have...
Meanwhile, all the drunken Brits, they were spending pennies here, there and everywhere.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You didn't see them out and about shopping or, wherever. You didn't actually... They didn't have a bonhomie about them. They were there...
Well, that's French, isn't it?
They went in the swimming pool at a certain time of the day. They sunbathed.
5 a.m. Make sure they got the right...
They were very... Anyway, they did... When I got to know a few of them, they did have a sense of humour, albeit it was based on a type of cynicism about others. But it took a while to get to know them, because although we were of a generation that hadn't suffered what the war was about, stuff like that, they knew that there was like a preconceived attitude from the Brits to them, and it was a bit, you had to sort of, hi there, how you doing, Manford? You had to sort of soften them up to talk to you, because they had a preconceived idea you didn't want anything to do with them. But they were by far and away a very, very decent people to live with. On the other side of the spectrum, I would like to say that...
No.
No, I'd like to say something else in their, you know...
I thought you were going to tell us the people from the country that were really, really awful.
No,
okay.
I just thought
Great relief all round.
It took a while. They don't embrace you coming
Well, no, maybe it was the poster of Kitchener that you had in your window.
But the other thing I'd like to say is this, and I seriously do mean this, and I hope everybody understands what I'm going to say.
Here we go. Grip onto something firm.
Rather, if I was buying equipment in the UK, be it a car, a washing machine, a dishwasher, and if I turn the label over and it's made in China, I put it down again. If it's made in Germany, anything I bought that was made in Germany in my home or wherever lasts the time. There's always a line, you could get a spare part. The stuff I don't buy anything now made in China, nothing.
Well, that must be very difficult, June, because practically everything is.
Yeah, but the spare parts, Nick, that when I was in Spain, as I've just said to you, my washing machine, well, I won't go into all the details, but the man came, and it was just a dial for the programs.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Signora, this is connected to. There's no spare part, i.e. buy a new machine.
Yes.
So here, when I now know all this stuff, if it was made in Germany, I can assure you, you can get the piece, and it's done, and that's if you need a piece.
That is your guarantee to me, is it, June?
Pardon?
You will back that up financially, will you?
I would say that if I was to go out tomorrow and needed something, an expensive item...
Yeah, like a trouser press or...
If it's made in Germany, I don't have any...
right. Deliver it toot sweet, as they say in Frankfurt, yeah.
Because I've been there 2 or 3 times, just a week passing through whatever, and I can tell you, the country's clean, everything operates on time, they are not full SHs at all. It happens. It may not be to everybody's taste, their cuisine, their this, or that, and the other, but you don't get ripped off. They've got a work ethic, and they've got a standard that they stick to.
Right, OK, well, I think that's what you call an unsolicited testimonial. Thanks very much, June. Pouring praise all over them. 0845 6060 973. The Spanish, on the other hand, that's what she was going to say. No, that's probably not what she was going to say at all. My life flashed before me just for a moment there. The Germans, they're so fantastic. On the other hand, I thought, oh no, here we go. But she restrained herself. Excellent work. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's at LBC973. Just before I go to the break, let me tell you about this. There's a bloke called Gentry Underwood, a name I am not making up. He sold his email smartphone app for $100 million. There's always such round figures. The Mailbox app allows users to organise and clear their email inbox in a far more smartphone-friendly way. Users of Mailbox can view their inbox and their latest emails they've opened at the same time, compared to other programs available which only allow users to view one or the other at a time. Have you ever dreamed of something like that, Amanda?
Every day.
They can use 4 simple gestures to control their email rather than having to select options and go through subcategories before they find what they need. To archive an item, all they have to do is quickly swipe the message to the left. To snooze the message to look at it later, the user just performs a slow left swipe. It's a swipe to the left. And then a swipe to the right. A slow swipe to the right will delete the email, and a fast swipe to the right will file it. What could possibly go wrong? Don't check your email when you're drunk. And never write in that state, especially to your boss. Gentry Underwood sold his creation to Dropbox, another company I've never heard of, in March, before his app had even been made available to the general public. Dropbox has already released its iPhone version of Mailbox, and yesterday released its iPad version. $100 million. He said he came up with the Mailbox idea after realising that traditional email programs were failing to be updated to work to their full potential on new technology platforms such as mobile phones. The Mailbox app uses the cloud to access emails rather than from the email service provider directly. He said, when you set up a Mailbox account, Mailbox begins checking your mail from the cloud, reformatting it, sending it you push messages when there are new messages, and having this snapshot ready for you when you open up the phone. And you know what? I would have done that already, but I have no idea what he's talking about. Another $100 million idea I didn't have. And you know how old it is? You know how long it took him to make $100 million? Guess.
4 days. You said guess.
You're one of those really irritating people that guess to an extreme, which makes the actual answer seem...
But you always ask me,
yes.
And then I always guess, and then you have a go at me about my guess.
Yes. When are you going to learn?
What am I supposed to say? It's a guess, as in my guess.
Well, how long would it normally take you to earn $100 million?
Well...
10 years.
10 years to
Yes.
earn $100 million?
Yes. Well, are you poo-pooing that idea?
I'm poo-pooing it slightly.
Well, how long did it take you to earn $100 million?
6 minutes.
You see what I'm saying? Very, very annoying. No, not 6 minutes. See what I'm about to say, you'll think, oh, blimey, well, that took forever. What took him so long, you'll think? He earned $100 million in 1 month. What? 1 month equals $100 million. And I sincerely wish I'd never started that. Now that really makes me feel like if this show so far hadn't made me feel like a failure, now I really feel like a failure. Amanda vigorously nodding her head. Thanks very much. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
LBC 97.3. Call 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
So Germany are the best at football. There is no doubt that. Spain used to be, but they are yesterday's news. They also make a schnitzel like you wouldn't believe. You could have driven a bus through that gap. 0845 6060 973. And the German newspaper Der Spiegel says that, according to this year's version of the annual global popularity contest, more people have a positive view of Germany than any other country. And so here we have been celebrating that nation. And with your help, we're compiling a giant list. Fitzrovia, hello, Paul.
Hello.
Paul.
Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels were German.
Yes.
Almost all of the great classical music composers, but somebody's already mentioned that.
Well, we mentioned Wagner.
Oh, Bach, Beethoven, Brahms, Liszt, Schubert, Mozart. I can't think of any offhand, but I mean...
Well, you thought of a lot. Yeah. That's sufficient.
And Adolphus Sax, the man who invented the saxophone, he was German.
Oh, nonsense. There's no such person.
Oh, yes, there was.
Adolphus Sax is the guy that invented the saxophone?
That's right, yeah, 1850.
Well, was the guy who invented the piano Italian?
I've no idea.
Adolphus Sax invented the saxophone.
That's right, yeah.
Why do they call it the saxophone?
Are you joking? And King George I.
Who invented the sousaphone, by the way? King George I, yeah.
King George I, direct ancestor of Her Beloved Majesty.
Right. So we have the Germans to thank for the royal family.
Classical music, communism, the royal family, and the saxophone.
That's a heck of a list.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
And nothing really links them in any way, unless you know otherwise. Good work, Paul.
Yeah.
0845 6060 973. Chatham, Maria.
Oh, hello.
I once knew a girl called Maria.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was just listening to that last caller. He stole a lot of my thunder because I was going to come up with the music.
Yeah.
Because Beethoven's my favourite composer in all the world.
He did number 5. Oh.
The symphony.
Yeah. Da-da-da-dum.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the 5th or the 9th? I know nothing about classical music.
That's the 5th.
The 5th, yeah. Well, you say that as though I'm an idiot for even asking that question.
Yeah, well, you know, the 9th is Ode to Joy. Is the bit that they play for the EU anthem.
Oh, don't mention the EU. People will start pulling their hair out.
Oh, well, at the Festival Hall next Sunday, there's an all Beethoven concert.
Next Sunday?
Yeah, I've got it's the 2nd of June.
No, next Sunday's not the 2nd of June.
Isn't it? Oh,
Is it?
Oh.
I hope not. That's too quick. Time's going too quickly. Next Sunday is the 2nd of June.
Oh, well, not Sunday coming.
Yeah, but the following one.
Yeah, yeah.
No, what happened to May? I'm not through with April yet. I am stunned.
Well, on the Euro news tonight, I watched. There's terrible weather in Europe anyway.
Good.
Yeah, I thought that.
Well, I'm glad that it's not just us that are getting it.
Yeah, no, they got snow, and they said the warm weather's in Russia.
Russia?
Yeah.
What are the Russians going to do with it?
I don't know. Everything's back to front. But I could add some philosophers.
Yeah.
There's Kant.
Mm-hmm.
And Hegel.
Hegel, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm running out now. And literature, of course.
Literature?
Yeah, Schiller, Goethe.
Yeah.
And, of course, German cars.
We run out of Germanic literature figures. Yeah, cars, right.
Yeah.
White goods.
Oh, yes,
appliances of all sorts.
Yeah, yeah.
And strudel.
Apple strudel.
Yeah, don't forget the strudel.
Oh, it's lovely, apple strudel. Have it hot.
Yeah, with a bit of English custard. What could possibly...
Cream. I've had it in Germany hot with cream and a lovely coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Maria.
Yeah.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-ra. She's had it hot in Germany with a bit of cream. Squirted all over it. 0845 6060 973. That's what it sounded like when they were squirting it all over it. Mullets. Yeah. Somebody just texted in, what do we have to thank Germany for? Mullets. Yes. Well, you know, when you're in want of a laugh, just look at someone with a mullet. Is Richmond. Hello, Judy.
Hi, Nick.
Judy.
Dreaded Wagner.
Huh?
He was responsible for Here Comes the Bride.
And what's the name again?
Wagner?
Wagner.
No, my name is Judy.
Yes.
I'm saying Wagner wrote Here Comes the Bride.
Which is maybe the second most famous tune on earth.
Yes, played at all English weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Germany was also responsible for starting Easter egg hunts.
Really?
And decorating Christmas trees.
Yeah, well, yes. Now, did they decorate them, or did they just bring them inside?
They decorated them. And they were responsible for advent calendars.
That's right. That's only just occurred to me. We have to thank Germany for what our Christmas looks like.
Yeah. And then last, the light bulb. They actually invented the light bulb 25 years ahead of Edison, but just forgot to actually patent it.
Oh, I bet they wouldn't make that mistake twice.
Yeah, and then one last thing was, all the Disney characters.
Yeah.
Normally, most of the castles in Disney movies or Disneyland or wherever you go are all Germanic-type castles.
Yeah, they all look like the Mad King, what's-its in Bavaria. What is that guy called? Ludwig.
And I mean, you can imagine going down the Rhine and seeing all those castles, kind of tucked away between the trees.
Yeah. Jawohl, meine Herren. That's right. Walt Disney's German too.
Yeah. So they did do something good.
They did loads of good things, so we are finding out. All right, excellent work. Thanks a lot, Judy.
Great. Thanks, Ian.
Ta-da. 0845 6060 973. Oh, but she was calling in Richmond. I wonder if she's heard the bad news about Richmond. You know, they found a fox in a child's bedroom in Richmond. Every now and again this story comes up. It's the same story over and over again, with just different people. A teenage schoolgirl spoke about how she was terrified when a fox jumped onto her chest as she lay in bed and it bared its teeth at her. Isabel Barter, who lives with her parents at their home in Richmond, was startled, I bet she was, when she was woken and came face to face with a fox that she thought was going to attack her. The 15-year-old said, "I was sleeping in bed and heard noises downstairs and dogs barking, so I thought it was our two dogs fighting. It was 5 a.m., and the people were still half asleep when she realised a fox had crept into her room. She told the Richmond and Twickenham Times, the next thing I knew, there was a fox in my face, leaning over me with its teeth out like it was going to attack me." She said, "I just froze, and then I started to scream, and my dad ran in." I would have frozen. I don't think I would have had the wherewithal to scream. I think I would have just been laying there frozen. The fox was locked in the bedroom before her father chased it out of the house with a mop. When in doubt, reach for the cleaning cupboard. Her mother said, "I often see foxes walking down the alley, but you don't expect them to jump into bed with you." The fox came up through the dining room, up the stairs and into her bedroom. She said it was on top of her, showing its teeth. It was like something out of Little Red Riding Hood, which we probably also have the Germans to thank for. Animal experts said that urban foxes sometimes enter people's homes because humans feed them as cubs. Foxes have lost the fear of humans and are extremely opportunistic, so that if they see an opening, they'll go for it. They're losing their natural instincts of being wary and scared of humans. People should stop feeding them, because what they learn when they're young, they'll carry on into their later life. Plus, keep your doors and your windows closed. 0845 6060 973. This is Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3. The time 12:30.
Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Yeah. So, weirdly, a lot of countries are very upset with Germany because of the economic policy that they are forcing on other countries. They're saying that this is against what you should actually be doing. We should be out there spending like drunken sailors. Instead, we are under the cosh from Germany because it doesn't like the way that the lax southern countries have been spending their money, throwing it around. They are. And George Osborne was forced to fight off criticism of his economic policy from the International Monetary Fund. And George Osborne's economic policy is the same as Germany's. The International Monetary Fund, however, says the global financial watchdog suggests that the Chancellor's austerity programme, it's the A word, is a drag on growth. It called for more immediate spending on infrastructure such as roads, railways and energy projects and all that stuff that we haven't got any money for. How do you get out of owing a ton of money? Spend more money. It doesn't make any sense to me, but then I'm not an economic expert. But despite this, despite the Germans calling for austerity and more taxes, that raise VAT on things that you don't ordinarily charge it on, they say, like basic foodstuffs, the construction of new homes, children's clothes, energies, books, newspapers. Because what's the clothing and feeding of children and the educating and housing of the masses when set against the increased profits of big business? Cut tax for businesses and increase VAT on the things you don't ordinarily pay it on. That's the sort of policy that Germany is advocating. So governments are upset with Germany, but you ask the people, and they're so thrilled they can barely contain themselves about Germany. They topped the annual global popularity contest, and we are trying to figure out why. Essentially, we are investigating what it is that Germany has given us. And I'm quite pleased. Gebrietlich, or whatever the German for pleased is, about the response that we've had. And absolutely nobody has so far, apart from a couple of exceptions, mentioned the W-A-R. Putney. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
Rachel.
I can contain myself.
Yeah, it sounds like you're contained.
My love for German. And I'm not. I didn't want to come on because I'm not sure.
Oh.
And she said, "Never mind, I'll Google it if you come on."
Yeah.
I think Mendelssohn wrote the Wedding March, not Wagner.
Wagner. Is that what the previous caller was saying?
That Wagner wrote them. Yes.
Wagner. Oh,
yes, she
right.
said Wagner. No wonder you didn't understand.
No, I was mishearing that. I thought you were saying something else. Mendelssohn wrote the Wedding March.
I think. Can she Google it?
There is.
I couldn't bear to think that Wagner wrote such a nice piece of music, because I hate him passionately.
The Wedding March by Felix Mendelssohn. That is what the internet says.
Danke schön.
You are welcome, meine Herren.
Schlafwo.
Yeah, and all that jazz.
Lovely to speak to you.
Cheers, Rachel.
Bye.
There you go. Finally, we have the right answer.
Correct.
Mendelssohn wrote the second most famous tune in history. Is there a more famous tune than the Wedding March? It goes, da, and that's the only bit I can say without having to pay for playing it. Who owns the Wedding March song? Is that Michael Jackson's estate too? Because they own the other one. Didn't Michael Jackson buy Happy Birthday? I think so. Ha! And that's the only bit I can say of that without having to pay for it either. Nobody's mentioned the European Parliament, by the way, which I'm sort of surprised at. Maybe because it's nobody has a good word to say about it. And the MEPs, it comes to light, have an income that is, maybe it's not the right time to bring this up because it might upset you and you won't be able to sleep. Maybe I'll talk about this tomorrow. Let's continue with the positivity in Blackheath. Hello, Laurie.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Laurie.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Oh, great show as always.
Cheers.
Well, I was just thinking about sort of Germany, and it's not an angle anyone's mentioned yet, but Germany has a habit of producing serial winners when it comes to sporting, like heroes. So if you think of Steffi Graf, who won Wimbledon about 7 times, I think.
Just at the beginning of that sentence, maybe it's just because I'm watching Hannibal and Dexter at the same time, but I was convinced that you were going to say Germany has a habit of creating serial killers. Well, maybe I need to present myself to a psychiatrist or something like that, because that's where my mind went.
Well,
serial killers, you say?
Psychopath sort of mentality, because they just born to win, aren't they? Michael Schumacher, obviously, is another one.
Well, and Michael Schumacher, there's an anomaly right there, because Michael Schumacher, he won everything, and then he retired, and then he came back and won nothing.
Yeah,
same bloke, different car. Am I right in thinking that it's just the car?
Well, probably, but also I think his reflexes have probably slowed a bit.
Oh, please. I mean, he didn't come back as a 50-year-old. It was just a short interval. It's just the car, isn't it?
Well, yeah, probably. But Sebastian Vettel, I mean, and he's got the same trait that Schumacher's got, is that he'll do anything to win. Even if it upsets his teammates, he'll run his teammate off the road, just like Schumacher used to.
Well, I think that any driver would do that.
No,
Hasn't
David Coulthard would... If you remember David Coulthard, he actually let his teammates pass him to win. I know it was team orders, but even so... And Vettel just wouldn't stand for it. So
Are you saying that he was just obeying orders?
Yeah, and Vettel doesn't obey orders because he thinks, no, I deserve to win because I'm the best. So it's just their mentality, and that's why they're so good, I suppose.
But I thought that, and I'm trying to remember what his name is, but one of, not Jenson Button, the other one.
Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, I thought that Lewis Hamilton has been accused of being an aggressive driver, let me put it like that.
Actually, it's funny you mention that because a good mate of mine, he says something funny about Hamilton. He said he's like Dick Dastardly because every race something is always bound to go wrong.
Well, he's not chasing pigeons.
Yeah, but he starts at pole and he finishes 10th and things like that.
Well, that is remarkable because as much as I know about Formula One, which I think is really, really interesting, boring, really dull, is because if the person starts at the front, they finish at the front. Around and around and around they go, and nothing ever happens.
Yeah, except for Hamilton, unfortunately.
It's just the most dull and the worst, as I've said many times before, it's the worst sounding sport that's ever been invented. Well, skateboarding, of course, is number 2.
It probably really isn't a sport. It's probably just a pastime.
Well, yeah, it's a very, very expensive pastime. It's not a sport. No, you're right.
Before I go, can I just mention one thing? Adolphus Sax was, I'm sure, from Belgium. He was born in Wallonia.
He was a Wallonie?
Yeah. And he did invent the saxophone.
Is that a fact?
I am absolutely certain. You can check on Wikipedia.
Oh, I'll look it up straight away. Thanks a lot, Laurie.
Okay, cheers.
0845 6060 973. He was a Wallonie. Who knew? You can text 84850, email nica@lbc.co.uk. For Germany, we must thank Germans for psychoanalysis. Of course, the cradle of psychoanalysis, Freud's couch. The cot of the leather-covered cot of psychoanalysis, Freud's couch. Now, I did psychology at university, and I can state with absolute conviction, it is my opinion that psychologists are nuts. Not to paint them all with, like sweeping brushstrokes, but they are crazy, all of them. And don't even get me started on sociologists. Here is Streatham. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Nick.
Steve.
I was wondering what you might look like in your Lederhausen, Stein in hand at the Munich Beer Festival.
I'd look thigh-slappingly good, Steve.
I'll have to take your word for that.
Yes.
Now, the great German author Thomas Mann, who wrote the epic Dr. Faustus, if you've got a spare couple of months, that's quite well worth reading.
I'll wait till the film comes out.
How about great German cameras, Contax cameras and Leica cameras? In those days, of course, they were regarded as miniature cameras, and they were... the lenses on these cameras were particularly famous in their time.
Yeah, Leica and also Russian lenses was particularly good.
After the bombing of Dresden, I believe that the Contax camera continued to be produced in Stuttgart, but also in Kiev, in Russia. But the Contax camera, I think, in the Second World War was used by a lot of press photographers, and with a very complex shutter that not even Nikon could... copy very well, but I've got an old Contax camera and it's still working perfectly. Now,
the oldest thing I own is a pair of Russian binoculars, which were given to me by my dad when I was a very, very small child.
Okay,
and they work absolutely perfectly and put to shade any other pair of binoculars that I've ever used.
Yeah, well, that's in the good old days when lenses were very carefully crafted.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of music, I don't know too much about Wagner, but how about the great Karl-Heinz Stockhausen?
Oh, all that... give us a tune, Carl.
I think he actually went mad, but he
Yeah,
did
he
create
was listening to his own music, probably.
he did create some pretty avant-garde music.
Yes, he was definitely avant-garde, no doubt about that. Yeah.
And more recently, of
As
course,
in unlistenable.
yeah. And of course, more recently, the great German band Kraftwerk.
Kraftwerk.
Rock and roll.
Yes,
that's right, absolutely.
They are still with us and playing a festival near you soon.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I'm really pleased about that, although I don't suppose I should be going.
No, me either.
Now, as far as automotive engineering is concerned, of course, the English police are very much in love with their BMW motorbikes.
And cars.
Oh, yeah, and cars, yeah.
I always wondered why it was necessary to have a luxury car.
Well, they've got plenty of money, haven't they?
No, apparently not.
I think BMW first started actually making motorbikes, and then they went into in Munich, in Bavaria, yeah. Then they went into making motor cars, but I think they first started making motorbikes.
Is that a fact?
Now, the chap from Fitzrovia who was talking about saxophones, I don't know if he remembers, there was a great German restaurant in Fitzrovia in Charlotte Street, just off Goode Street, called Schmidt's. Now, when I was an undergraduate at London University in the 70s, you could get a very, very satisfying and cheap meal at Schmidt's. On the ground floor, there was a patisserie, and upstairs there was a restaurant.
And did they serve schnitzel in Schmidt's?
They certainly did.
Did you have a Schmidt's schnitzel?
Oh, absolutely. And not to mention their Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte.
Yeah, I've told you not to mention that.
Sorry about that. And a few steins of lager.
So yummy.
And but I don't think it's there anymore.
I can't think of a single German restaurant. Is there any?
I don't know. But Schmidt's was really, really good and really, really cheap. So that's about it, Nick. Nick, so all I can say now is auf Wiedersehen.
Yes, a comprehensive list. Cheers, mate. 0845 6060 973. I don't think there's a single German restaurant in London. I'd be shocked and stunned if there was. Because, like I said before, it's not the kind of place that you think of about food. Where are the great centres of gastronomy? France, obviously. You'd say Italy. Although, you know what, if you eat out in Italy, it's like, meh. Here we go. It's the same bloomin' meal over and over and over again, and it doesn't matter whether you spend £200 on the meal or £5 on the meal. It's exactly the same. You start with a salad, then you have a bit of fish or pasta, and then you have a bit of meat, and that's it. It's the same meal over and over and over again in Italy. I mean, it's all right, but it's not that great. I think that their food has been overpraised. Their coffee is fantastic, and their ice cream is off the scale fabulous. But as for actually eating out meals, not that great. Not in Italy. In France, yeah, fine. I think that Britain, specifically London, because I've eaten outside London, and you can be served some stuff. Here's my advice for you: never eat out in Scarborough. Take your own sandwiches, and that also applies to Blackpool. But London is the place. It must be the place to eat in Europe at the moment. There can't be a better place to stuff your face than London at the moment. But Germany is not a place that you think of for food. Although I would. Hey, Amanda, do you fancy getting your? Oh, never mind. It's late enough, but I'll restrain myself. She's wagging her finger at me. She knows where I was going. 0845 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC 97.3.
If you've suffered any form of medical negligence, you should talk to the firm.
0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Tweet at LBC 973. This is London's biggest conversation with Nick Abbott.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
It's about Schmidt's Schnitzel. 0845 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's at LBC973. Here is Wembley. Celia.
Oh, hello.
Celia.
Yes. What I wanted to say was both of the wedding marches are used, Wagner's and Mendelssohn's.
Both?
I'm not absolutely sure which. I think it's Wagner's coming in and Mendelssohn's going out. That's why it's called the Wedding March. But when I got married in 1953, I know it's going back a bit, my husband was in a concentration camp in Germany for a while, and half of his and half of my family all died in the Holocaust, and he refused to have Wagner's Wedding March played for when we came in. I think he thought whatever it was, he wouldn't have Wagner at the wedding, so we had to have a different tune together. That's how I remember it.
Well, so there's two.
So there's two, yes, one in and one out. But I wouldn't.
Well, I know the one. The Mendelssohn one is. Can you hum it without having to pay for it?
What? Wagner, you mean Here Comes the Bride?
Well, I'm not actually asking you, Celia. I'm asking for advice through the glass. Hang on there a minute, Celia. Just 1 second.
I can hum it, yes.
Well, I know, me too. I just don't know whether I'm allowed to. Wait a minute. Here, Amanda, can I hum the wedding song without having to pay for it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can hum a bit.
All right, now, is Mendelssohn's the one that goes na 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 na?
Well, that's the funeral march.
Yeah, that's right. That's a funeral march. What an idiot! I know everything about classical music. You should ask me. How does the wedding march go then?
Well, the coming in.
Oh, Here Comes the Bride, all dressed in white.
The other one is
right.
My voice is gone now. Da, 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 dum, 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 da, dum, dum, dum.
Right. I thought that was the heralding the advance of the Queen of Sheba. I got that wrong too. I'd be rubbish on Classic FM. They should put me on breakfast.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's one going the other way around. But I only know he wouldn't have Wagner.
Right. Well, I can understand that.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thanks a lot, Celia.
That's all. Thank you.
Ta-ta. 0845 6060 97. What I don't know about classical music, you couldn't write on the back of a stamp. Wait a minute, have I got that right? What I don't know about classical music, you couldn't write on the back of a stamp. It's like, even I'm confused. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Isn't that a surprise?
No.
Here is Nebworth. Hello, Susan. Oh, Susan. Susan is listening to the radio and will be with us in 10 seconds when she realises there is a delay, and she'll pick the phone off the kitchen table and scrabble to attention. Yes, Susan.
Oh, hello, sorry, I was turning the radio down,
Oh,
sorry.
I know.
Sorry, I didn't expect you to let me on so quickly, thank you. I'd just like to say Alsatians and poodles.
Well, that's not much to thank them for.
Now, don't spoil yourself, I enjoy listening to you.
Yappy, barky dogs? No.
Wonderful dogs, both faithful and wonderful, intelligent, highly
Poodles?
intelligent. Wonderful.
What, those silly things with pink hair?
Oh, yes, that's only because what people do to them, but they're intelligent dogs. They're very intelligent.
Really?
Yeah, lovely. Okay, that's all my contribution, I'm afraid.
Okay,
I
good
don't
work,
know
Susan.
Thank
Thanks a lot.
you.
0845 6060 973. We have Germans to thank for poodles and Alsatians. Okay, well, I'll stick it on the list. I know a lot of people are crazy about their dogs. My personal opinion is that anything that is that excitable and that loud should be against the law. Here is Bloomsbury. Larry.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Just a bit of trivia that I'm sure most of your listeners know, but for the ones who do not, they may find this of interest, and that is the tradition of having a Christmas tree in your home originated in Germany.
Yeah, we have touched on this. I'm not sure why anybody would originally think, oh, there's a tree outside, I'll drag it in because of Jesus.
Same here. Also, while listening to your show, something came to mind. I guess three of the most influential scientists of the 20th century were from Germany.
Niels Bohr.
Einstein. Wernher von Braun, and Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Also, real quickly before I let you go, last week you had mentioned British bands that sang with American accents, and then you surmise which big British bands sing with English accents.
Yeah,
and
none.
I just got to...
Zero.
No. Terry Hall, Paul Weller, and Suggs.
What was
the Jam, the Specials, and Madness.
I thought he said sucks. I thought he said Paul Weller sucks. You said Paul Weller and Suggs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, three out of millions, not bad.
True.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry. You could also add Ian Dury to that, but none of those acts are really, really massive, are they? I mean, they're sort of locally. The local boys done good locally. I mean, they ain't the Rolling Stones, they ain't Led Zeppelin, they ain't. Or you could say Pink Floyd, because what's it used to sing with an English accent? Ha ha, charade you are, he sang, and other things too. Let's not get into it, otherwise I'll be here all night long singing Pink Floyd records.
Groovy.
And that would be good, wouldn't it?
Negative.
Here is St Albans. Hello, Ricky. Hey, Ricky, you're so fine, blah, 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 Ricky.
Haven't you got rid of that yet?
No.
Obviously not. Would you like some music from Mr. Mendelssohn? The Wedding March?
Oh, you can't play it to us down the phone.
No, I know, it's a shame, isn't it? Do you know he also wrote Fingal's Cave?
What's that?
Piece of classical music.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
Oh, you've been severely undereducated then.
Well, that's a combination of a public and a private education for you, Ricky. I know nothing.
Mine got to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have said it better in French. Thanks a lot, mate. 0845 6060 973. Some texts and emails, of which there are many. Things to thank Germany for. Hey, can we get my winning Euro millions? I'm going to win £72 million. If I win £72 million, huh? Don't shake your head. You haven't seen what the numbers are yet. I've got a very good feeling about this, Amanda. We have to thank Germany for Prince Albert, not the Prince Albert, or a Prince Albert is the Prince. I got that the wrong way around. We have to thank Germany for the Prince Albert, not a Prince Albert. We have to thank Prince Albert for a Prince Albert. We have to thank Germany for Kraftwerk. Germany is particularly famous for its outstanding contributions to music, such as Beethoven, says Miriam. Germany gave us the monarchy, and Claudia Schiffer. I thank Germany for 1966, says David. Kinky Leather Beer Festival, says Dave. We can thank Germany for Boris Becker. We have some great 50s and 60s architecture to thank Germany for, says Tony, who is being sarcastic. Multi-track recording and Black Forest Gatto. Great composers like Beethoven and Brahms and Bach and Wagner and so on, which is all that anybody can remember. We can thank Germans for giving us Lidl, says Dale. Nutella. Is Nutella German? Doesn't seem like it would be a German food stuff. Nutella. It even looks like it's not German. It looks like it would be French. Hi, Julia. We can thank Germany for fantastic sausages, schnitzels, as we were previously describing, at length and in great detail. We can thank Germany for strudel, says Jen. Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, German motorway service stations, and the temperature Fahrenheit. Don't remind us about the Fahrenheit. It's the Christo Show.
Good morning.
Take it away, Christo.
Thank you. We're going to talk about, well, the horrible week that it's been, really, and talk about how our city has changed and how your world view might have changed this week. We're going to talk about whether you've ever been in an in-flight drama and what happened. We're going to discuss DIY disasters. It is the bank holiday after all. And the most inappropriate time you've fallen asleep.